Welcome in, everybody. Pregame show here for Week 11. That's right, we made it to postseason play in high school football in beautiful Northeast Ohio. Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you as always on the call tonight. Our first playoff game of the season, AA, and it's Berkshire. It's Chagrin Falls, a rematch of Week 10 from the CVC Valley Division right here on CVC TV. It's going to be a doozy.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup, and we know it's going to be a great matchup because last week's matchup was fantastic with the Badgers coming out with the W, and they're going to have, home field tonight. I always find it interesting, and I can't wait to talk with both coaches about how you approach a rematch a week after you face them in the regular season. I always think even in pro sports that's tough because you've seen all the film that you need to see, but we got to run it back again. So let's see what happens.
Think about any level of football, whether it's high school, college, professional, whatever. You normally don't see this too often. I think one coach, Coach Scott, has said kind of leading up to this game that he's been in this situation maybe one other time. But other than that, it's very rare to see teams go back-to-back. And it'd be a playoff game, too, of all things. It's crazy to think about. Super exciting. Going to have both coaches on to talk about that AA, and then we're going to wrap things up on our end and get you on the field for action. Make sure you tune in, of course, after this break. Both coaches and more as we get the pregame all set for playoff action in high school football, a CVC game here after this.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery is this year's title sponsor for CVC TV. Their practice diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's ohsurgery.com.
Back into the pregame show. Of course, Week 11, big matchup this week, of course, playoffs in high school football. Chagrin Falls taking on Berkshire, and now we are joined by the Chagrin Falls head coach. John Scott joins the program. Sir, how are we doing?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, so excited, of course, and getting some deja vu from Week 10. This is kind of strange. You guys are going to just run it back from last week. What are your thoughts on taking on the Badgers for a second week in a row in high school football? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is. Historically speaking, this is the second time it's happened to me. Back in 2000, which was my second year as an assistant here at Chagrin, we played Perry Week 10 in a big CVC matchup, and we were up at Perry and lost. And Week 11, we drew Perry at Perry. So we went back up there. And we lost again. So obviously we're looking for a different result and hoping that we play better this Friday night than we did last week.
How much of a challenge is it for the coaching staff, for all of you guys to prep, or is it a challenge for the second week in a row, the same opponent?
No, it was great because on Saturday, Josh came over for the JV game, and we were talking on the sidelines, and he was like, do you want any more film or anything? And we're just like, man, I think we're both good, And he's like, and it's nice to not have to, go through that component of breaking stuff down. We're obviously, we had a lot to analyze in terms of what didn't work for us, and able to make the adjustments. So, from a game plan perspective, having an opponent that's familiar, and we got to see what they did. They gave us some trouble. So there's definitely some advantages to that second time through. And the fact that it was such a, close outcome, obviously, you don't feel like you just lost by 40 or 50 points and you got to go play the same team again, right? So, I think our kids are in a good place. Obviously we wanted to win and be able to host the game, but, anything that happened in Week 10 has no effect in terms of what's going to happen in Week 11. So it's a whole new ball game, whole new circumstance, from the opening kickoff, and we just have to play better.
Coach, you mentioned obviously, hey, one-score game last week. It was, fighting tooth and nail to the final score with that. What kind of takeaways did you notice in that game? We know obviously both teams love to play hard, smash mouth type offense and defense, and a lot of back and forth, even though it was a lower scoring game. Things maybe you kind of noticed that you kind of checked off, like, hey, I don't need to watch the film. I know that if we do this or this better, or if we stop this or that. Anything kind of stand out to you from that front, obviously going back-to-back now with these guys?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, they got the ball first and had a long sustained drive and scored and kind of got the momentum. So it was difficult playing from behind, especially, first play we lost 5 yards. We had a mishap up front, and it just felt like from that point on we were playing catch up the whole first half. And so obviously, doing a better job of, getting the momentum back is something that we're going to have to focus on. We had some things that we liked that we think still there, but we just didn't have an opportunity to expose it. Our defense was out there a lot. As you said, they were pretty strong, ball controlled offense. They only had about 190 yards total for the whole game. So it's not like the fact that they had it for over 2/3 of the game. They were just getting three or four. There wasn't any big plays. But they converted on 4th down, and as I said, they kept the momentum going. So really, the main focus that I told our guys this week, on both sides of the ball, is we must win 1st down. We can't allow them to get into 2nd and short, especially when they get in a position where they feel comfortable with going for it, because now they have 3 downs to get 5 yards. We need to get them in 2nd and long. And on the flip side, we have to make sure we're not in 2nd and 15, right? We need to be in 2nd and 5. So it's really going to, I think, come down to who wins 1st down come Friday night.
Coach, the last time we talked was earlier this month when you guys faced Fairview, and you mentioned even then, like, okay, it's fine to talk about playoffs. It's fine to talk about that kind of mindset. Since that moment in time, have you guys been on that elite mindset of, all right, we got to really take our play to the next level, especially in the division that you guys are in? Obviously, this is a big moment here, this part of the season, but how much do those last few weeks prepare your team for Week 11?
Well, it definitely does. We're blessed to be in a great conference, in which, any given Friday night, you never know what you're going to get. The game that you guys had this past Friday was like phenomenal, right? It was what, 47-46. It's just, it's when you get schools that are the same size, that are pretty much, they're not equal in terms of what they try to do. Obviously Fairview throws it where Crestwood runs it, but the kids play hard, and that's what high school football is about. And I think our kids get prepared week in and week out because of the challenge that they face by having to go against a different CVC opponent each week. We're sitting here at 3-2 in the league with Fairview and Berkshire, right? So it's like, that 3-way, and all 3 teams are in the playoffs. With Fairview, I looked at their region, and I texted with Sean, and I'm like, is anybody in your region like within an hour of you? It's like they took all of Western Ohio and they added like Fairview, right? So, it's. Anthony, to answer your question, it really comes down to the fact that, week in and week out, the tremendous, challenge that you face in the league keeps your kids up, and there's really no letdown. Or, you can have letdown because they're kids, but, the motivation is always there.
And Coach, I want to talk about the entire season at this point, because you guys had a really successful year, ups and downs obviously throughout it, but you made it to this point. Battle tested in this division. The Valley Division of the CVC is nothing easy to look at. It's very difficult from top to bottom. And your non-conference schedule, too, was difficult, and you guys were challenged in that as well. I imagine all of that kind of puts you guys in a spot here mentally and obviously physically, too, to be ready for what's to come in Week 11, possibly beyond that, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Very pleased that obviously we were able to kind of turn the corner. We had a couple years in which we had a hard time getting over 500, and here we are. We did so. We got in the playoffs, which we haven't done since 2013. And we did so, with a big win week 1 against our rival West G, and obviously Youngstown East was a huge win for us. They had a lot of success this year, not knowing what that game was really going to be, and playing Kenston. And then we came into the Valley portion of the schedule with the crossovers where we got Cuyahoga Heights and Independence. And for Division 7 schools, those are the schools you want to play. Those are the teams that are always playoff tested. They're well coached, and you're going to get their best effort. So from 1 to 10, we're very pleased, with the schedule we have, and to be on the plus side and playing for Week 11, because that ultimately was our goal.
By the way, 14 teams from the CVC in the playoffs.
That's amazing.
Crazy. For those who are watching Chagrin Falls for the first time today, what are some of the players or some of the units, position units, that fans should be looking out for today?
Yeah, I mean, if you start on the offensive side of the ball, Jacob K has been a playmaker for us. He is a dual threat quarterback with the ability to throw it to receivers like Drew Zelch and Jack Medhurst, Spencer Cass, and others. Jack Gellin in the backfield, as well, is a talent. We get him going. It's difficult to stop them. I think going into, or no, it may have been after, the statistics are exactly even in terms of the number of carries that Jacob K and Jack Gellin have. So it's really a two-headed monster out of the backfield with them running the ball and, as I said, with the ability to throw it. And defensively, we've been sound all year. We've been very good against the run and ultimately against the pass too. We've had corners step up due to injury, and I mean, you saw Ryan Curtis, number 88 against Fairview. I mean, he did a tremendous job against, number 1. I mean, because he's a special talent. He's the best receiver we faced all year, and he did a real nice job, running with them. And, he had I think 4 pass deflections that game. Some of them were dropped interceptions, but I guess only I can joke with him about that. But yeah, I mean, in the secondary, we've played a lot better. Our linebacker core, Cole Kramer and Sean McKee are leading tacklers. We do have Charlie Bazone back. So he was out. We lost him in week 6, and we got him back Friday night. Boy, watching him on the field, you're going to be impressed with his speed and agility, being able to disrupt plays from his end/backer position. Cole Dukas, on the other side. So, I mean, and the guys up front have done a great job all year. Cooper Ryan, Alex Hardy, those guys that have been in the interior. So, defense is where we hang our hat. Again, we held Berkshire to 13, which should have been good enough Friday night. I feel if we can hold them to 13 again, we have a better chance than we did last Friday, that's for sure.
Definitely looking forward to the game, Coach. My last question is when I asked, obviously, the other coach as well, so I want to get your perspective on this. And I'm always curious for people in the room. You're the head coach of this team. You kind of lead these young men, obviously, out there. How far can this team go? How far are you convinced? I know I always curious to know the answer to what you think. I've heard, hey, we'll go as far as we'll take us, so we'll go as far as we believe, all that kind of stuff. What's kind of your message as you move into the postseason part of play? And obviously the goal was to make a run and to get deep into the high school football playoff season. I'm curious what kind of your message is and what your thoughts are on the team as you kind of take that 10,000-foot view of your squad going into week 11.
Sure. I mean, I have to take the same approach that I took the whole year. And it's obviously, as I said, we talk about big picture on Saturday when we wrap up and we get ready for the next opponent. But once Monday starts, it's all about being 1-0 and winning that next game. And, we're going to go as far as we believe that we can go 1-0 that week. The moment where we second guess ourselves, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, right? And from here on out, it's great opponents. It's great football. Anything can happen. Being in an alma mater of mine, Solon grad, I think they played Wadsworth. It may have been like a 1-point game or so, but I think Wadsworth turned it over like 8 times. It's like, who would have ever thought something like that was going to happen, right? You just look at. I mean, it's just they're high school kids. It's Friday night, so. The well-oiled machines, the Kirtlands of the world, the Marion Local. I mean, they're obviously legit. If you're facing them, it's kind of a tough task. But everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time, and again, you're going at it with the game plan to go 1-0, and that's your challenge. And if you believe it, I truly feel that you're going to keep playing the next week if you can get the job done.
I remember when we had your game against Fairview. In the crazy first half, when all the stuff was happening, it's like after a while, it's just like they're kids. what can you do?
That's what I told them at halftime. It was 22-15. I even gathered them. Only time I did it all year. I gathered them before we went in the locker room, and I told them, I said, as bad as we have played, we know we're better. We know what we can do. We just need to relax, right? Just relax. The second half will be completely different from the first. we're going to get it fixed. We're going to be fine. And, we let them go in and kind of believe that. And, we put a plan together to how we were going to adjust. And, I think we outscored them 24-0 in the second half and, and took care of business. And it was just one of those things where you're right. I mean, we needed halftime to regroup, and it was because they're kids, right? And it allowed us to get the momentum back. And, again, that was the key. Last Friday night, Berkshire had the momentum and they kept it the whole game. And, it's going to be, get them off the field and get that momentum back, because that's what high school football is all about.
Well, Coach, we're excited, obviously, for the game, and best of luck as you gear up for the playoff game, the first, possibly of many, this postseason here for you guys. Again, Coach John Scott, Chagrin Falls, the Tigers. Best of luck, Coach. We'll see you on the field.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery is this year's title sponsor for CVC TV. Their practice diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's ohsurgery.com.
Week 11 of high school football here on CVC TV. The pregame show as we get geared up for the matchup between Berkshire taking on, of course, Chagrin Falls right here on ChagrinValleyConference.com. Kyle Cornell.
Rematch.
That's right, double Anthony Alford. How about this? A strange situation, but excited to get both coaches on. First, going to talk to the head coach of the Berkshire Badgers. Again, Coach Josh DeWeese joins us. Sir, how are we feeling leading to Week 11?
I'm feeling great. Nothing like playoffs in Ohio here.
Tell you, nothing like playing the same team back-to-back weeks. I imagine that's a little strange. How we feel about that?
Oh, it's definitely a first. I haven't had to deal with this before, but as far as film study goes, at least we don't have to exchange new film and get into that. So that's been nice.
No, that's fantastic. What are some of the takeaways that you took as a coach, as a coaching staff, from last week's game?
Honestly, they play hard every play. They get after it. They got some guys that can get away from you real easy, so you just got to cover them up. And then defensively, they come downhill real fast. So it was a smash mouth football game last week, and I expect it to be the same this week.
Hey, Coach, I was going to notice too, one possession game for the most part, and obviously at the end it was, and a low-scoring game. Was that kind of what you were expecting going into last week? And now looking at this week, are we going to see more of kind of the same, like low-scoring, kind of just physical, or are you expecting maybe both offenses to kind of like, hey, we got some reps on you last week, now we're going to be ready to go?
I don't want to say I'm expecting anything, because anything can happen. Right. Both teams have shown they can be explosive with the ball on offense, and both defenses have played tight games down the stretch. So I really think the familiarity of the game, it could go either way. I mean, maybe each team exposes some holes, or we both just clamp down on what each other does, and it's another smash mouth game.
Coach, how exciting is it going to be to host this playoff game in that football stadium, Great Lakes Cheese Stadium, one of our favorite stadiums, by the way, to go to? How excited is it going to be for the home fans to witness this playoff game?
Anytime you get to play at home in the playoffs, it's nice. Not having to travel and go through all of that, coming out of our locker room. So it's going to be nice to have the home crowd there. It's nice to be able to do it in the new stadium. It'll be its second playoff game. We're looking forward to it.
We talk about the year too, Coach. A fantastic season for you guys, playing really good football, getting obviously good at the right time too, getting some wins here towards the latter part of the season. I mean, how does it feel to kind of be rolling the way you guys have into this game? A familiar opponent, obviously, but just in general, having a really solid, strong year.
It's been great. We talk a lot about stacking wins and stacking practices and building towards the next, and not looking too far down the road, just looking at what is right in front of us. And that's really how we've been going all year. It's been tunnel vision on what's happening in front of us, but then stacking on the next one. So to be able to do that through the CVC Valley Conference, which is extremely tough this year. We had Kirtland at 10-0, but then ourselves in Fairview at 7-3, Chagrin at 6-4. There's a lot of competition in the Valley this year, so it was some good games down the stretch to really build towards the momentum to the playoffs.
So the last time we saw you guys was all the way back. We had to go back in the film Labor Day weekend, week 2 against Hawken. Like, that was a while ago. How different is the team that we saw back in week 2, the team that is with you right now?
I think it's considerably different in the case that our main running back, Justin Phillips, didn't play that game at running back at all. So having him back in the backfield has been a huge jolt to the arm starting in week 4 all the way through the rest of the season. But beyond that, like with any team, you start at one point and then you build through the season and you're building towards the end of the year, and that's kind of where we are now. So yeah, I'd say we're a different team than you saw in week 2.
I think definitely the impact that he's had on the season, we kind of were going to bring that up too. Just it's amazing how one player, we've seen that in a couple of different schools too throughout the CVC, you get 1 or 2 players back from an injury or whatever the case may be, and it just feels like everything just seems to fit better. I mean, can you talk more about what his just fit is with overall with this team and what he's brought on that side of the ball and obviously all together with the team?
I mean, on a team full of senior leaders, Justin is the leader of the seniors. I think that's the best way to put it. He's the linchpin. He's the guy on both sides of the ball. Defense, he's making the calls, yelling out what the other team's doing, making the plays. I think last week, first play of the game was a tackle for a loss. Third play, he pushed the quarterback out, and the other linebacker got the sack. So he impacts the game on both sides of the ball. And then offensively, he's just a bull running downhill. I mean, he's a tank moving through the line.
Coach, talk about actually, this is a 2-part question. So the first, talk a little bit about, for those who are watching Badgers football for the first time tonight, some of the players that is going to be featured here today. Talk a little bit about that, and then I have a follow-up afterwards.
Really, it starts in the trenches for us. Up front, we have 4 seniors starting on the line, and the lone player that's not a senior, junior Danny Tiller, has been a starter both ways since his freshman year. So, I mean, every player that's starting on the line has 3 to 4 years of experience. Vinny Crea, Caleb Corbett, Jason Brent, Preston Garling, Danny Tiller. These guys have all been doing it for years. So it starts and ends with those guys up front. Sam Barski-Howski's first-year quarterback. He's been doing a great job having command of the offense, keeping us in sync. And on the defensive side, it's much of the same names, but then we can throw in Oliver Miller, Paul Brent, and Luke Studi, who are the back half of the secondary, been playing really well.
And then my follow-up, give me a player who has improved from camp all the way to right now, like one of your most improved players from camp to right now.
Tough question, man. Just because I haven't had that total view that, I've been, like I said, right in front of my face. I haven't been panned out yet. On the defensive side, we've had a few guys at outside linebacker. Sam Babel, he's come a really long way. Aiden Weiser, he scored 5 touchdowns in the year at running back. He's kind of our fullback style runner in our 2-back set. He's come a long way this year. Chase Wardle, another guy in the slot, defensive. He's on the outside linebacker. He's come a long way. We're getting Abram Southern back this week, who was out with an injury last week. He's come a long way this year. So there's quite a few guys. It's hard to nail it down to just one.
Yeah, Coach, last question for me. And I like asking coaches this when we get to playoff football because it's a real tough answer. And I don't like making it easy on you guys. I like making it tough, of course, right? Go figure. But how far do you think this team can go, man? I'm always curious to know. It's self-reflection on teams and on just the perspective of what you've seen throughout the year. You mentioned you've been in it every single week. I imagine there is stout belief in the guys. I mean, do you think you can make a big run at this and push far in the playoffs?
I'll give you my normal answer. We can go as far as we believe we can. And that's really, it's all about belief and getting after it. If you believe you're going to do something, you have more of a chance than if you don't believe you're going to do it and watch yourself fail. So it's really about that belief. So we can go as far as we believe we can.
Well, Coach, we're not going to hold you up too much. We know we got a game to prepare for, but Week 11, very exciting stuff. And again, thank you, Coach, for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great night.
Coach, thanks again. Appreciate it so much.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery is this year's title sponsor for CVC TV. Their practice diagnose and treats facial pain and injuries and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's ohsurgery.com.
Thank you both coaches again for stopping by as we're gearing up for, again, an awesome playoff matchup tonight here on CVC TV AA. These 2 of 14 total teams from the Chagrin Valley Conference that made the high school playoffs in the state of Ohio. How about that?
Amazing. And, this conference, every year, both coaches talked about how loaded even the CVC Valley division is.
Oh, my gosh, that by itself is fantastic. You talk about, obviously, Kirtland, these 2 teams, Fairview, who we saw last week, a barn burner. What an amazing game that was against Crestwood. At Crestwood, playoffs are on the line. Of course, unfortunately, Crestwood just missing out on getting into the playoffs, too, in their own right, having a pretty good season. I mean, it's amazing what the CVC's done this year, and these 2 teams obviously exemplary of what that means.
But I loved your question, though, at the end for both of these coaches. Like, okay, how far can you go?
It's so hard to put coaches in that spot because you obviously want to think about the game in front of you, but when you make it to this point, your mind, I'm sure, can't help but wonder, hey, do we have what it takes to maybe get to that Final 8, Final 4, maybe the championship? I mean, can we do that?
I know. It's very true. But the cool thing about Week 11 is it's not just the football team that advances. It's everybody that's a part of the Friday night experience. I mean, just think about the fans that we're going to, that's going to be a part of over at Great Lakes Cheese Stadium. Only the second time in that new stadium that they're going to host a playoff game. So you think about that. You think about the bands. They move on, because of the football team. So all of these things, it's an entire experience to experience Week 11. And my football playing career only experienced it one time. So, like, there's extra excitement even in classes and, the whole week. Like, it feels like a celebration because it is. Now, what's going to be interesting, and Coach Scott brought it up when we had their game against Fairview, how do 14 through 18-year-old kids react to this moment? You prep for it all week. You understand what happens, what's going on. The one advantage is that both of these teams did face each other last week.
Yeah, the tape is all pretty much the same.
But it's
so there's not much
exactly. But it's different now with the added stakes.
Yep.
Knowing that, let's just be real about it. We all know the loser of today's game, the season is over.
This is an elimination game. It's what playoff football is about. AA, I am excited.
Cannot wait. This is going to be a great game. I wish the temps were a little bit warmer than what it was earlier in the week.
I'll tell you what, it was nice. We had like an 80-degree day, and all of a sudden now I'm wearing maybe a parka. I don't know.
I was going to say there's going to be some jackets over what we got, but it doesn't matter. Of course, with the playoffs. Last time we were at Great Lakes Cheese Stadium. It was Labor Day weekend.
I was wearing shorts and a T-shirt.
Now it's going to be a jacket.
Now I'm wearing layers. And you know what? It's the price of having November football in Northeast Ohio. We're excited for it.
We cannot wait. This is going to be an exciting game. And all of you parents,
dress warm.
Dress warm. And for the parents, enjoy this.
Yes.
For your kids to have this moment, to have this opportunity, win or lose. This is something that, as a family, as families, you're never going to forget. Playoff football, this experience. You just can't beat it.
Speaking of this experience, I'm tired of waiting.
Me too. Let's go.
Let's get to high school football again here in Northeast Ohio. Playoff high school football, Week 11, coming up right after this. Do not change the station.
Do you want to learn how to be a producer, DJ, on-air talent, or influencer? Visit beonair.com and discover a media school that's changing the game. We have 7 campuses across the country, and you can graduate in as little as 8 months. No math or English classes here, just classes that interest you and give you hands-on experience with real-world professionals in the media industry. And there's financial aid available for those who qualify. Stop sleepwalking through life. Show up for your dreams. Visit beonair.com and take the free career assessment. beonair.com.
Adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Your officials for tonight are referee Terry Wentworth, umpire Ryan Shade, line judge Ray Salyer, head linesman Dan Burton, and back judge Patrick Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the 2024 Berkshire Badgers. And now, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem, and remain standing for the playing of our alma mater.
Welcome, folks. It is playoff football right here on CVC TV. The matchup tonight's a familiar one. Two CVC Valley Division rivals who met in Week 10 of the regular season will duke it out again tonight from Great Lakes Cheese Stadium here in Burton, Ohio, as the visiting Chagrin Falls Tigers at 6-4 take on the 7-3 Berkshire Badgers right here on ChagrinValleyConference.com. Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you on the call as always as we gear up for Week 11 of the high school football season. AA, it's playoff football, and it's two teams that are in a pretty interesting spot considering where they were just 7 days ago.
Yeah, and what's going to be interesting is momentum. And that's where all this really gets things going. You know, it's a very unique position, something that's very rare. Having two teams face each other 2 weeks in a row, not despite the fact that they're already in the same conference as well, the same CVC Valley Division. So this is going to be huge, obviously, for this game and really the start.
A little nervous there. Watched Jason Brent run out with a sledgehammer.
That's the mentality.
Ritual, yeah.
That's the mentality you got to have here.
And two teams that face each other again. Week 10, 14-6 was the final. Berkshire got the win in that game, AA. Obviously, if you watched the pregame show, you heard both coaches kind of talk about that. And, yeah, probably no more tape needed for this one, I don't think.
No, but the mindset is there. Chagrin Falls pretty confident after getting a rep. Of course, as you just mentioned, they didn't get the W. But what they want and what Coach Scott wants, they want to be able to make sure they're not playing from behind the sticks. The Badgers took the opening kickoff last week, drove right down the field, took a lot of time in doing it, and played ahead the entire way. So Chagrin Falls wants to prevent that this go-around.
It's going to be a fun matchup of two teams in the CVC Valley Division AA here in Division 5 overall. And a really solid division this year. We know Crestwood just missed out on a playoff spot, but talk about Kirtland in this division too. You talk about just how talented this group is of this set of teams, and we're going to see that on display again tonight.
You think about it, the month of October, even though we're in November now, the month of October in the CVC Valley Division, really playoff quality matchups every single week, you know, within this division. So this is big time, a lot of storylines with both of these teams, with both of the, you know, players that we haven't seen when we had Berkshire the first go around. So we're going to talk about that, but we're locked in, ready to go here on the first Friday night of November.
It's going to be an awesome showcase of two teams, obviously, now in the playoffs. Now it gets real serious, AA.
And now this go-around, this is what Coach Scott wanted. Wanted Chagrin Falls to take the football first, and they're going to get that opportunity.
That's right. So it is going to be the Badgers kicking off. They'll receive the second half kickoff, but the Tigers going to get the first opportunity at playoff football and offense here on CVC TV. 14 CVC teams making the Ohio State playoffs this year. That is a huge number. I know we have about 40,000 teams in the league, but still, that's impressive to see that many get in.
And again, it speaks to the competition that's in this conference.
Roman Perchik, the kicker, going to boot this one away for the Badgers, and we are underway in the high school playoff season. Taken in by Chagrin at the 10-yard line, trying to make a play on a return, cutting upfield, still working his way through. Ball came out! And I think Chagrin was able to recover that one. And I tell you what, that was right place, right time right there for Brant Stevens. Otherwise, that could have been a huge play from the Badgers. But nevertheless, Tigers will take over around their own 20-ish yard line.
Yeah, we always talk about in the regular season, 5 or 6 plays can make or break a football game, and amplifies in the playoffs. Every single play, something different could be happening. And who knows with that field position battle, but Chagrin Falls going to start the football.
Yeah, starting on their own 23-yard line. So we're going to see Jacob Kay back on the field. We had a chance to see this young man earlier this year. He had a fantastic quarterback, junior. This offense dealing with a few injuries today, but trying to make things work. First down, handoff, left side, turning upfield and getting a positive gain of a few yards there is the running back McKee. He'll see some work tonight.
Yeah, he's going to get some work. He has been putting in work this season in that backfield. A backfield where, guess what? If you're going to see number 9, Jacob Kay, and Jack Gillian, coming into this game, they're essentially equal in the number of carries that they have had in this season.
Yeah, Coach talked about that pregame. He said, yeah, we'll definitely not be afraid to run it with Kay. We saw Jacob Kay in person take control of a game rushing the football. We definitely can throw it too. Handoff on that offhand, and McKee on the outside. McKee trying to break the edge, and he does get through, still on his feet, and gets out of bounds near the first down marker.
So if we talk about those weapons, let's unleash the weapon that maybe we didn't get the chance to see as much in McKee. And so far, these 2 plays, he's putting it in the wheels.
So it'll be 3rd and short coming up. Looks like maybe a long 3 to 4 yards here.
Of course, the guy to watch defensively, we didn't get a chance to see him earlier in the season, but Justin Phillips, number 4, the linebacker.
Yeah, right in the middle of your screen, AA. He's a captain on both sides of the ball, really controls a lot of things for this Badgers team. Kay looking to pass, rolling left side to dump off. It is complete. Breaking through in a tackle, past the 35, down to the 37-yard line. Great catch in the flat there by Jake McClintock, and that's going to move the chains for a first down.
One of the things you want to do that's so important in the playoffs, especially the first week of the playoffs, you want high percentage plays. You want easy plays. You get something out there, play action in the flat, easy completion, get the short play for the first down.
See number 8 jogging on the field there, Drew Zelch. He had a fantastic game against Fairview earlier this season. We watched him catch multiple touchdowns, make some big plays in the pass game, maybe even in the run game too. Maybe someone to watch tonight as the Tigers reset on first down. Okay, get a handoff. It's Gellin, right side, pushing through, lowering his shoulder and getting a gain of about 4 to 5 yards.
And it was a mix of a lot of run, but that's where Zelch came in over to the slant, that pop and pass. But so far for this Tigers team, they didn't want to play from behind the sticks. Coach mentioned it. We got to win first down. We must win first down. And here, setting up, getting 5 yards a pop here, that's a good start.
Staying ahead of the sticks going to be crucial tonight for the Tigers, who scored only 6 points last week against this Berkshire team. We're expecting the offenses maybe to bring it a little more tonight. Kay going to keep it on the right side, working his way through, finding a seam, and gets a first down and then some. Good run through by Jacob Kay, and he'll move the chains.
But you also notice who was on that screen, too, the entire play was Gillian, number 10, creating that path for Kay. Gillian, he didn't really have anybody to block because he was going out there that speed, and that's what they do. That's what Jacob Kay does, that dual threat on the ground.
Yeah, Jake and Jack out there. Jack Gellin, of course, fantastic season too in his own right, but he understands, hey, listen, my quarterback can run the ball. I need to block too, and it's that selfless mindset you see from Chagrin Falls, one of the reasons why they've had another fantastic season this year, of course, under Coach John Scott. Handoff, left side. Trying to cut back. And again, just trying to work forward and get some more positive yardage, and they did. They keep the ball in front of the changes. Gellin gets a few.
I wonder if one of the adjustments here is working outside of the tackles, working on the outside the hash marks, because your strength for this defense is in between the tackles. You got stud linebackers. So you force them out of their comfort zone, you can get a few extra yards. You got the speed offensively to get out of the perimeter and do that.
Yeah, just methodical drive to this point for the Tigers. Only one pass attempt, but it went for a first down. They've got a few first downs already on this drive. Kay in the shotgun. Look at, going to hand off. Gellin, middle, trying to work his way through. This time the Badgers read it well and stop him after no gain. Going to bring up third down.
That's their strength offensively, just in between those tackles. You got the strength there. And I understand, too, offensively, you want to switch things up. You run outside all the time. Eventually, you're going to get stopped, So you do want to switch things up, but a critical third down coming up.
You also want to get predictable, too, Double A. You want to keep the defense on their toes. And it's tough not to be predictable. When you played this team last week, they kind of saw a lot of things, but I think both coaches kind of knew, hey, this might be a possibility in the first round of the playoffs, regardless of the result last week. Maybe we keep a few things under wraps and hold out a little bit until this one.
No need to exchange film when you already played it last week.
Okay, and that shotgun again, and play's going to get blown dead. And it looks like they're ruling that. It looks like it's going to be against Berkshire.
I believe so, Kyle.
Yeah, it's going to be offsides, and it was 3rd and 4, so that should be a first down. That's a huge penalty against the Badgers as it keeps the drive alive now for the Tigers Double A.
Yeah, I believe Corbett jumped there a little early, and that's what it is. It's just those little things. The Badgers had a great opportunity to get out of this drive, but kind of the opposite is happening this week as Chagrin Falls with the opening long drive.
And Caleb Corbett, the senior lineman, stout in the middle, as it's going to be Kay working his way to the right, trying to find an avenue. He's trying to run this football, and he's going to get brought down for a huge loss. Berkshire responds. F. Phillips, a bunch of players there. Miller, too, in the backfield, got there right away, and just nowhere to go for Jacob Kay. A little pushing and shoving. That's playoff football.
The entire defensive unit did an excellent job. You had people at first level to get the initial contact there, in the pocket, and then when Kay tried to go outside, you saw it there. A haul of players there able to make the play.
Yeah, so call that a loss of 9 yards on the carry. So 2nd and 19, just past the midfield stripe. Tigers behind the sticks for the first time on this drive. McClintock in motion. Kay going to drop back the pass. Looking left side to dump off. It's caught. Gellin working his way through. Flag comes in late. Gets down to the 41-yard line, so almost near the original line of scrimmage, but this one might be going backwards again, Double-A.
Yeah, it looks like it. You might have an ineligible man. Again, OHSAA officials, so we are now in the playoffs. And if you get to this point of the season, playoffs, everything's getting called. I mean, they're picking us up.
And as you say that, of course, the announcers curse in a good way, I guess, for the Tigers. They get to keep the play. So ball going to get down at about the 42-yard line. Looking at about 3rd and 12 coming up.
Opportunity here for the Badgers to put a cap on this offensive drive.
Can the junior quarterback, K, respond? They've been able to convert a couple of these 3rd downs on this first drive, but the Badgers are starting to play tighter on defense. K looking to pass, throwing, left side. It's caught, bottom of your screen, trying to find a receiver through the first down. He's brought down to the 36. That's going to be short. That was Medhurst who made the play on the catch, but just nowhere to go on the yards after. Great job by Berkshire to close out, and it's 4th down.
And great job by Paul Brent, able to close in there defensively, try to get that cut back inside. And when you see more speed in the playoffs, you're not going to get that advantage.
It's a fairly calm night tonight, though it is officially November. Welcome if you just waking up from Halloween. It was a long night last night, too.
I understand.
48 degrees cloudy tonight here at Great Lakes Cheese Stadium in Burton, Ohio. And we're going to see a 4th down attempt here as Kay is going to line up again in that shotgun. 2 receivers split wide to the top of your screen. Kay drops back to pass. Looking, going to roll out to his right. He's got a lot of green space, throwing, a receiver's open, and it is incomplete. Was going for his outs on the sideline. He couldn't make the play. The normally sure-handed Zelch just could not bring that in, a little out of his reach, and it's a turnover on downs. The Badgers hold true.
Might have been a little out of his reach. I'm a little surprised. There was an opening for Kay, but you kind of figure, we just mentioned the speed of this defense. Maybe it would have been a smart decision to throw it, but just out of the range, and a huge stop for this Badger defense.
Now the junior number 9 on the other side. Sam Barsikoski going to take over for the Badgers. Handoff inside. Going to hear the name a lot tonight. Justin Phillips back in the lineup, of course, returning here late in the season for the Badgers and making an impact right away.
Yeah, returned back in week number 4. Of course, we didn't get a chance to see him. We were here at week 2 against Hawkins. But, this team is loaded with seniors. They're loaded with upperclassmen. 4 to 5 offensive linemen, by the way, are seniors on this team. But as Coach DeWeese described Justin Phillips, Phillips is the leader of the seniors. I mean, so that's huge. The heart and soul of this
team. That's like
the
king of the king at that point. Yeah,
the king of kings.
2nd and long coming up. Barsikoski looking to pass. The lefty throws. Left side it is. Incomplete. Tried to bring that ball in, but it was double coverage, and a great job on the defensive side right there from Brant Stevens, who knocked that ball away from number 80, Andrew Kimpton.
Man, that was a tough play. I don't know. There was a strong chance that was going to get picked off. That's a lot of coverage there, but another opportunity here for the Badgers to get things going. But this is the chess match you talk about. You get a crack at them last week, both teams. So it's a whole new game. It's like playing a best of 2, best of 3 series. It's really only a best of 1, but you get the point.
Now it's winner take all. You got that right, partners. It's 3rd down and long. Barsikoski looking to pass. Going to throw. Deep shot. Down the middle. He's got a receiver. It's gone. Past the 30, down to the 25, to the 23. What a play by Abrams Southern. Move the chains for the Badgers.
Abrams Southern did not play in this contest last week, but he had an open seam. It was just right there, and you see it's just a perfectly placed football.
Dropped it in.
And Southern, we saw the difference he was going to make earlier in the season. It is great for the Badgers to have him back in this lineup and a huge 3rd down conversion.
That is a huge play. So flip the field, why don't you? Down on the 23-yard line of the Tigers, and Berkshire threatening. The junior quarterback, Sam Barsikoski, what an amazing job he's done this season. First time playing, going to be handoff on the inside, looking through, handing off to the receiver Brady Wadsworth, and Wadsworth tried to chuck forward for a few there.
Again, we talk about momentum. Both coaches talked about momentum in this game, going into this game. And, the Badgers kind of locked in. You see some substitutions, kind of mass shift if you're a hockey fan a little bit. But what a play still by Southern, that big third down. And he is a threat offensively for this team.
Oh, my goodness, and defensively, too. We saw him make a bunch of plays back early on in the season. He's a huge part of this team. And for as much we talk about Phillips, as he gets the handoff on the left side, able to spin his way through and get near the first down. But Southern's obviously a huge, huge talent for this team, too.
And another senior. I mean, if you go up and down, we talk about how to handle the playoffs, handle it in front of your home crowd. You can bet the seniors are able to handle things and handle adversity. Saw it there. That's Southern. That big play was off of a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, backs against the wall in their own territory, and it was a huge completion down the seam. Found the perfect spot. Sam Barsikoski. Now he's got to try and convert another 3rd down. This one's a bit shorter, though, 3rd and 2. Turns hands, left side. Big hit right away, and I'll tell you what, that's going to be close. And I'll tell you what, Aiden Weiser, that is, got the carry, number 27, and they might be a little short of that 1st down.
I think he was met initially by contact, wasn't able to get a drive right after that contact. See if this Badger team decides to kick a field goal from the spot and take the points.
Well, last week it was really difficult to get points on the board, but I think if you're this deep in the territory, still the first quarter, to want to make a statement, trust the offense, and that looks like they are going to. So here we go. 4th and short. 5 seconds on the play clock here. Snap, Phillips direct. He works his left side. He works his way through, and he got it. Justin Phillips gets the direct snap, and sometimes you just got to put it in the hands of your best playmaker and let him go to work.
And let the offensive line go to work, too. Create the path that this Badger team needed to convert this 4th down, and they got it.
So it's going to be 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. What has been a very fast-moving first quarter. We saw this similar last week in this game between these two teams. Like to keep the ball on the ground, work its way through, but then can take those big shots when it matters.
Every possession is going to matter, especially because it's not going to be that many.
8 yards from taking the lead, AA, is the Badgers right now. Barsikoski under center. They're going to pull that one dead, and that's going to be 5 yards back further, I'd imagine. Pre-snap, and it will be delay a game.
And we talked,
wow.
Yeah, delay a game.
Yeah.
And
That's tough. Well, now they have the advantage of being able to see the big clocks here, which is good. You can actually see it. You don't have to look for the referee for a certain time display, but still, it's tough when you're trying to get things through at 25 seconds.
True, but it's one of those things you got to be locked in. You're on that side of the field where the clock is and the hash mark,
yeah.
So you just got to be, it's just those little things you got to be focused in on.
So 1st and goal from the 8 turns to 1st and goal from the 13-yard line now.
And it gives a little momentum over to Chagrin Falls, penalty that shouldn't have happened.
Got to go a little bit further to try and take this lead now. Handoff right side, Southern. Southern breaks through. He's got a hole. Southern turns upfield, and it gets spun down inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Abrams, Southern gets all that back and more.
Southern did a great job letting his blockers develop the running lane for him. Watch this. You see it there? Phillips is one of the blockers. Just locked in. And Southern was able to take full advantage of the excellent blocking he got on the perimeter.
Great run by Abrams. Southern. A couple big plays on this opening offensive possession for the senior. Listed as a running back, but does it pretty much all over the field. Handoff, Phillips inside, lowers the shoulder, and he's in! Touchdown, Justin Phillips. And the Badgers take an early 6-0 lead.
And there are the lights! Every time the Badgers score here at Great Lakes Cheese Stadium, the lights come off. My goodness, what a start. Taking full advantage of the big play by Southern, the big passing play, the big run that Southern had, and then Phillips. 4th down conversion, and then scoring. What a drive.
Let's see, Perchik line up the extra point. That is way up, and it is good. So 7-0 to score here on CVC TV. The home Badgers leading the Tigers in playoff football. Of course, the presenting sponsor for CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. That's www.ohsurgery.com.
Well, that's how you get things started. If you're Berkshire, like that's how you want to get things going. You use your star players, you put the ball in their hands, and you let them go to work. And what was impressive, too, about Justin Phillips, number 4, the play before, when Southern had the big run on the right side, him and also Andrew Kipton, number 80, had critical blocks. And sometimes when you're not asked to get the football, like, oh, I got to sprint out to make key blocks. You know, on bad teams, those type of players, they don't want to do that. But here, these players are disciplined. They want to be a part of this, and they make big plays even when they don't get the football.
So Gellin and McGinnis back to return this kick for the Tigers. Remember, they had 4 or 5 first down conversions on that opening drive, AA, but could not come up on a 4th and 6. Zelch actually had a pass go through his hands. And, of course, it leads to a touchdown for the Badgers on the offensive end. Let's see if they can respond. McGinnis going to take this one from his own 9-yard line, up the right sideline, cutting back towards midfield, back to the right. He breaks through, huge return, spun down after a huge hit past the 40. Good response from special teams. It's a solid return right there for Jay McGinnis, the junior, 5'6", 135, but man, he's got some wheels.
Yes, he does. Again, we watched the Chagrin Falls team overcome adversity early on. So, you know, just because they're down, to them, that means nothing. What did Coach talk to us about during the pregame about the game we covered against Fairview? You know, he talked about, hey, you know, just lock in, just focus. Yeah, your kids, things happen, but lock in, focus. You got the talent. See how they overcome here, this 7-0 deficit.
Down 22-15 at halftime of that game. At one point down 15-0. They found their way back. Hand off Gellin, top of your screen. He's going to get met immediately. Berkshire's defense gets right in there, piercing through and getting the big stop.
Man.
Yeah, Brent got in there. A couple different guys got in there and made a play.
Chase and Brent. I wanted to make sure that he had that play because defensively he just slipped right in, uses physical presence. It's clear, looking at the line, that the Badgers have the size advantage. And it's going to be interesting to see how Chagrin Falls up front. Can they use their athleticism, their speed that they have in the offensive line, or maybe put extra players up there?
Okay, again, that shotgun. Gonna pitch to the outside.
Oh,
Gellin trying to work his way through, too. He gets a huge hit after him. Then they got maybe the yard back. But, I mean, yeah, take your pick. They swarmed to the football, and Berkshire's been able to get there pretty quickly. I mean, there's a couple guys. Obviously, Danny Tiller was over there as well. As that ends the first quarter, AA. And the score, 7-0. Berkshire on top of Chagrin Falls right here on CVC TV. A quick moving first quarter in playoff football action. Well, if you got a tree emergency or need expert tree care, call Taz Tree Service. The phone number, 440-567-0962. With over 25 years of experience, they specialize in tree removal, trimming, stump grinding, and more. Their fully insured team offers swift responses and affordable pricing, ensuring peace of mind and top-notch service. Visit ChagrinFallsTreeRemovalServices.com to book your appointment today. Taz Tree Service, dependable, professional, and ready to meet all your tree care needs.
This is interesting now because that last play kind of proved, you know, this Badgers team is loaded with speed defensively. They are loaded. They're almost telling Chagrin Falls, hey, you want to get this W, you want to win this game, you're going to have to put it over the top.
It's when we come down to possibly Zelch and Kay here. And Gellin's not been able to get much going in the run game after that first frame. Kay going to look to pass. Stepping up, throwing, sideline. It is going to be caught. And I believe that's Zelch at the bottom of your screen here. And it was. He's going to be about 2 yards short of that first down.
And this defense gave him cushion. Of course, what you see the goal was to not give up the big play. But we'll see if Chagrin Falls decides to play field position and punt.
No, Kay from what I remember, actually handles the punting too. So that's always dangerous when you have a quarterback that
It is.
can punt the football.
Very true.
He may see something when he catches it and decides to take off, but
That does not look like a punt formation.
yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that too much. And at around midfield, they're going to attempt this on 4th and short. Okay, in the pistol, turns, hands, left side, working his way through his McKee, and he is going to get stonewalled short. A huge stop. Miller in there also, again for Berkshire. Jason Brent, who you talked about, who's been just dominant down the middle, and that's going to be a turnover on downs again.
McKee, it looked like initially, there was a pocket that was developing, but it was closed immediately. And there's not a feeling as a running back, you like wait a minute, I thought the pocket was there. You went after it, and then it collapses quickly. It's a bad feeling.
So Barsikoski and company going to take back over here. Handoff left side. Miller working his way to the left flank. He's got a first down near it by the 40-yard line. Good turn to the corner by Miller. He's right at that marker. He may be about a yard short.
I believe Miller, one of the only, sophomores that's playing here. Again, I want to go back to this. Justin Phillips, number 4, made a critical block on that left side that really set things up for Miller to get the big run on the left side.
Just unselfish play. It's one of the reasons why the Badgers went 7-3 this season. Pitch outside Miller, looking, rolling right, trying to cut back now. Great read by Chagrin as they stop him short. That was a big tackle by number 7, Cole Kramer. He was a game-time decision this week with a knee injury, but Kramer out there.
And you see his difference. You see the playmaking that he has out there. Of course, as far as injuries, you talk about no Spencer Cass out there.
Yeah, that's huge. Cass, of course, senior, 6'2", 195-pound receiver. Cass also played some safety. One of the key parts of this team, missing him tonight out there, wishing for a speedy recovery for Spencer. 3rd down and short. Handoff inside Phillips, lowering his shoulder with some help of the line. He's going to have the first down. Yeah, sometimes it helps when you got 4 seniors pushing you forward too,
It does. And the one who's not a senior, the one who's not listed there, Danny Teller Jr., he has started both ways every year since he was a freshman, since day one. So you got 5 experienced linemen up front leading you. And it gives you confidence if you're Phillips to dip your shoulder down there and get the first down.
Berkshire's been able to keep this ahead of the sticks. Handoff on an end around. Big play through, working through. The ball came out late. It's still loose, and eventually Berkshire grabs it. Oh, my goodness, that was almost dangerous, but the Badgers keep it. Let's watch this double A.
Yeah, take a look. And that's what, that
Chase
ball
Wardle,
was just a little loose.
I just could not bring that in. On the cut through, he got hit, and the ball got jarred out, but luckily the Badgers are able to retain possession. That was close because there was 3 or 4 white jerseys over there. It's actually going to be a first down.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, based on field position. But that's what happens, every one of those little plays, those moments. Depends on where the ball bounces.
So right now, Lady Luck is on the Badgers side as they'll keep possession. Barsikoski under center, handing right side. Just nowhere to go. Swallowed up on the tackle as, again, trying to make a move to the outside, but again, Aiden Weiser had nowhere to go.
Tigers needed something, anything defensively to get that momentum back a little bit, because even you mentioned the fumble, still, just because they didn't get the recovery, it was a first down that they gave up.
They actually added about 5 or 6 more yards at the end of that run on the end around, and great job by Jake Evans to swallow up. Again, Weiser on that carry, so 2nd and long for the Badgers. One of the few times they've been at or behind the sticks. Roll out, Barsikoski looking right side, gonna get brought down. Great tackle on the outside by Kramer, seeing that speed. Looked pretty good with that knee double A, able to make that play.
That's the speed, just incredible. No, it wasn't a fluke, the speed that we saw a few weeks ago. That is the real deal, able to read that play. And don't look now, but it's a 3rd down and long. And, so far the Badgers have overcome so much offensively in this game. see if they're up to the task once again.
Seaman Roman Burchik jogging over to the coaching staff on the sideline like, hey, I can kick this field goal if you guys want. He hit the extra point out of the stadium, essentially, so here we go. 3rd and long. Barsikowski going to fake, looking, going to step up in the pocket. He's going to take off. Barsikowski going to get brought down. Great job right there for Chagrin Falls. Big number 54, Alex Hardy. The junior able to stop that play short at the 26-yard line. So 4th down coming up.
And that's the importance there of containment. You know, just staying home. You know, don't get out of place, but get locked in, get disengaged from the offensive lineman. And they're going to force a field goal here.
Well, you love to see this because we've got a kicker here tonight that can definitely make it.
Yeah,
Roman Burchik going to line it up. This is going to be double-A, roughly almost a 50-yard field goal. Snap good, hold down, kick on the way. It's actually tipped and blocked. Flag comes in late. And did they go off sides? We'll see what the official call is here, but wow, that's huge. If there is 12 on the field. Still waiting for an official ruling here as you see the headline judge and our head official in the middle of the field. Now another official comes over, the backline judge, to talk it over. That was a huge block for Chagrin Falls if it stands, but it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, I believe. So now do you go for it, double A, if you're going to move 5 yards up? It goes from 4th and 7 to 4th and 2 or long 3. And Chagrin Falls going to talk this over. Looks like they had Barsikowski out there like they were going to go for it.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in just a bit.
Seeing what happens right here on CVC TV. Our presenting sponsors, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties, well, dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. Hey, for all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. That's www.ohsurgery.com. And also, if you're dealing with a sewer or drain emergency, don't wait. Call Sewer Cleaning Company. 440-290-6055 is the number for 24/7 service. With over 500 5-star reviews, they provide expert sewer and drain cleaning, camera inspection, storm drain repair, and more. Of course, you can trust their honest and transparent services to get your home back in order. Visit sewercleaningcompany.com for more details and to schedule your appointment today. All right, so 4th and short. And it looks like we're going to go for it.
Got to watch for the hard count if you're the defensive line.
Barsikowski getting the orders from Coach DeWeese in the sideline. Phillips in the backfield on his left hip. Gonna roll. Barsikowski looking to lefty. Fires over the top. It is bobbled and caught. No flags in the field. That's a 1st down.
That is a clutch throw and catch right there. Did a phenomenal job.
Paul Brents with a phenomenal play on the left sideline. The senior receiver comes down with a huge play. And the ball going to move all the way inside the 10 down to the 8. 1st and goal for the Badgers again, threatening.
Those little things making a difference. The penalty, you had the block, but the penalty gave it up.
Handoff, Phillips, middle, working his way, putting his head down, gets a few on the carry.
And I love the aggressiveness here by the Badgers. It's like, look, we didn't cause that mistake. We're gonna make you pay for it.
Well, the door opened up, double, after the penalty against Chagrin Falls that actually took away that blocked field goal attempt and gave them 4th and short, which obviously gives you a lot more play options if you're a play caller for the offense there. And hey, we could run the ball, we could throw it like they did, and it was bobbled at first, but Paul Brent with a great catch kept this drive alive for Berkshire as they try to add on to this lead.
And there's confidence as far as what you want to do. Well, now you don't have an empty backfield. Phillips went back there.
And he'll get that carry. Phillips up the middle, pushing through, still on his feet. Phillips still going forward and eventually going to get brought down inside the 2. Well, he was caught at about the 5 and just lowered the shoulder and just kept pushing, kept chugging forward, and that's going to set up a 3rd and very short and goal here, maybe a long 1.5 yards.
And I would imagine, even if even if Berkshire doesn't convert here and it's a 4th down, you got 2 plays to put the ball behind this experienced senior-led offensive line and get in the end zone.
So play clock continues to tick down. And Barsikowski just getting that play call. They've got 5 seconds or so to get this play off. They're going to rush to the line of scrimmage. Chagrin Falls wasn't ready. Handoff inside, working through, close, and down at the 1, maybe even closer. Weiser got the carry quickly. So now 4th down. This is huge for the Tigers AA if they get this stop.
This is huge for both teams.
Just
Thinking about how the scoreboard was going to flip. If Chagrin Falls is able to make this stop, and again, you say it time and time and again, when you have 4 senior offensive linemen, you have a senior running back, put the ball in their hands.
And Barsikowski was calling the play while he was running over there. Handoff left side in the end zone, touchdown! Justin Phillips again. He scored on a 2-yard touchdown earlier. This time it's 1. Yardage doesn't matter. The lights are going on and off because Phillips got in for 6.
And the offensive lineman on the left side sealed it inside to create the opening for Phillips. And his speed is unreal.
Justin Phillips with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the first half. It's now 13-0 Berkshire. Extra point is up. This one is going to go through the uprights and good. And the score goes to 14-0 here on CVC TV as the Badgers lead the Tigers in playoff football action. Now transform your property with a fence from R&T Fence Company. Family owned for over 36 years, they provided top-notch fence installation services across Northeast Ohio. Specializing in residential, commercial, and industrial fencing, they offer a wide range of options including aluminum, vinyl, wood, and chain link. Call 330-626-5170 for a free estimate or visit rtfence.com. Whether you need a new fence or a custom gate, trust the experts at RT Fence Company to deliver quality and professionalism. That's rtfence.com, your fencing solution.
This offensive line is the real deal. This offensive line is unreal.
Yeah, they're a steel fence if there ever was one.
They are. And
tough to get through.
And this offense, again, we mentioned before, we had this Badgers team against Hawken back on Labor Day weekend. Justin Phillips was injured. He was not in this lineup. It feels like we're watching a completely different offense.
Just the added bonus, even if you just talk about the blocking from Phillips, too. He's meant so much to his teammates tonight. It's a low kick. It's going to be fielded at the 40-yard line. The AA special fall on it immediately, and that's where the Tigers will take over.
They've been studying CVC TV. You've been watching our coverage all year long. You know not to tune away during kickoffs.
It definitely can be crazy down there. And you'll take that good field position if you're the Tigers. And a response needed right now. They haven't really been able to find much since that first drive AA. It seemed like they had some momentum but couldn't convert on that 4th down. Back-to-back drives, 4th down conversions just could not get through.
And this defense is crashing hard. They are crashing hard, whether it's from the inside. They got the speed for the linebackers and safeties on the outside. Wonder if you just open it up on play number 1 and just air it out here on play 1.
Zelch only with 1 catch in this first half. Jacob Kay's been held in check. Throwing, it's a quick screen off. There is Zelch. He makes the play, turns upfield. He's getting hit, bouncing off tackles, and eventually goes down after a gain of 3, maybe 4, and he had to work for all of that AA.
Yeah, he did. You notice all those guys sprinting right over. I wonder if the adjustment is going to be at some point. It might even be a halftime adjustment unless you see it now. These guys defensively are pursuing so hard that maybe a counter or two would not be a terrible idea.
You got to imagine at some point Kay is going to start taking off. I mean, he's got the wheels. We know he can definitely add it up. He had over 200 yards rushing against Fairview earlier this year. We saw it firsthand what he can do throwing and, more importantly, running the ball in these spots. Kay going to roll out to his left. Looking. Kay going to launch. He's going to take a shot down the left sideline, and it's going to go out of bounds. Took a shot for Zelch. And that ball was out of bounds about 5 yards before it hit the ground. No shot, but it was double covered.
Yeah, double coverage was there. And then you had then you had pressure too. So condensing the offense, you want to shorten the field. I understand that, but you had the safety over the top. This is what happens when you play a team for the 2nd week in a row.
Yeah. Start figuring some things out. Now it's 3rd and 7. in great starting field position, but again, just not able to get too far ahead of the sticks for the Tigers. And when they have, they've been stalling out on a couple plays here or there. Can the offense find some magic?
These receivers got to find a pocket where Kay can throw the football to.
Okay, gonna look to throw that football. Takes a hit, throws it over the middle. He's got a receiver. It's caught right down the middle. And tell you what, Zouch lost the football. Zouch lost the football. Did the Badgers get it? They did. Oh my goodness! Finally, a big play. Kay took a shot, and Zouch just could not hold on all the way to the ground.
This might be a roughing a passer, maybe. And if that's the case,
well, I don't know if they're actually gonna call that a catch. It was bobbled, and Kay still down. Hate to see that. He got leveled.
So we're gonna see here what they're gonna rule here penalty-wise, because obviously, if it is roughing a passer, Chagrin would keep the football, a new set of downs. But if they don't call that, then the Badgers would get the football. Roughing a passer.
Yeah, so that should be, and it will be a huge penalty against the Badgers.
But play is stopped, though, because this is a huge development right now, Kyle.
Yeah, this is never anything you want to have to see, and it looks like Kay is getting helped up. Helmet's off, and he's able to walk that one off. Maybe just get the wind knocked out of him, hopefully, but he took a huge, huge shot on that play.
Yeah, he did, and of course, the trainers, coaching staff, they're going to make sure that he's healthy, is all good and whatnot. It's not going to be rushed back in.
Yeah, and of course, we got two different guys that they can turn to in this spot. Ash Martin is a sophomore quarterback, and then Tommy Florkowitz, who is a freshman. And that roughing the passer call going to move the play up 15 yards. I don't know if they're going to count that catch. I'd imagine maybe not, because there was a fumble at the end, maybe from the point where they caught it. I'm not sure what they're going to do here, but I think it's just a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, it'll be.
Yeah, from the 43 where it sits now, it'll be.
You'll have to accept the penalty.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose possession.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, Kay's going to walk off the field. They was testing, he was up.
Yeah.
They was making sure he's good to go and whatnot before leaving the field.
Yeah.
And Kay wants to get right back in there, but the adults are going to take care of the kids, make sure that he's all good.
And with all the scares we've seen with concussions this year, of course, every level of football, I always want to make sure that the young man's going to be okay for the future. And we're going to get a new option, at least for now, at quarterback. And that looks like it is Ash Martin who's in the game. Martin going to take him off that Gellin on the left side. Gellin going to work his way through from the shotgun. Gellin cuts forward and gets a gain about 4 to 5. And there you go, top of your screen. Looks like Jacob Kay going to come right back into the ballgame.
Real quick, I wonder if that was Sean Boyle who took the direct snap. Number 15 took the direct snap, but it was only a play. No, you're right. There's that Martin there. You got the updated.
We both did.
Where's my copy?
I don't even know. It's probably in my car. That's my fault.
Kyle was right. It was Ash Martin who took the handoff.
The numbers flip sometimes when you go into playoffs, obviously. Is Kay going to roll out to the right, back in the football game, throwing over the top, looking for his intended receiver. It's incomplete. He had Jack Medhurst on the right side. Is Jacob Kay rolling out, showing no ill effects after that big hit a few plays ago.
This is a very important drive here, obviously, for Chagrin Falls. I didn't even realize, but we're already, 3 minutes and 11 seconds before halftime. So, you mentioned it earlier in the game, this game is moving. So you've got to have efficient drives. And if you're the Tigers, this is imperative right here to come away with points. Remember, they took the opening kickoff, so the Badgers would get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, crucial for some sort of points on this drive for the Tigers. Remember, they only scored 6 last week against this Berkshire defense. Kay again in that shotgun. Got Gellin on his right. He's going to hand off left side. Gellin had to break a tackle. Cuts through. Gellin moves forward and gets the first down.
And he stayed on his feet, too. That extra second effort ensured that they were going to get the first down.
Yeah, big pull block on the left side from a Parker Zyler Cartwright. Another senior on that Chagrin Falls line. Able to spring him loose as Gellin was able to get through for about 7 and a first down.
And you wonder now how this Badger defense, how they're going to respond, getting that momentum swing, to rough of the passer.
Okay, getting that shotgun option play, gives it off to Gellin. Working back through, Gellin. Flag comes in late.
We're going to get a holding call.
Yeah, that's going to come backwards. It seems like every time the Tigers get some momentum moving forward, even though the big completion to Zouch down the middle of the field, the fumble, then obviously roughing the passer does get them through, but they take 2 steps forward, they take a few steps back.
Well, again, it's the athleticism. I'm going to call that out Zouch, number 8.
Yeah, when you're on the outside, it gets a little hairy out there when you're blocking as a receiver. What can you do? What can't you do at that point?
But again, this defense. I don't even know if I would prefer for Chagrin Falls to go on the outside like that. I know it's part of the offense and whatnot, but they've had a little bit of success just either attacking downhill or throwing the ball in the air. No need to go side to side against this speedy defense.
Well, they have a long way to go, so they're going to go through the air. It's up top, and it's intercepted! Taken away! Flag comes and landed on a late hit. That was Luke Stutt that came in and picked that ball off over the top. What a play.
That was a Moss. That was a Moss play right there. Watch. Right there. He just ripped the ball away. It was a little off there.
And that's going to be, I'd imagine, unsportsmanlike conduct on the Tigers at the end there. His Stutt was down after picking that ball off, and he got hit late. And they're going to call a sideline warning. Okay. And there's that personal foul against Chagrin Falls. So that's a huge penalty on top of the turnover as Kay took a shot down that right seam, and there just was nothing really there. Great coverage by Berkshire, and I'll tell you what, Luke Stutt, the junior, with a huge play. We've seen him obviously make plays as a receiver, but tonight.
That was fantastic.
Wow.
And he was in great position. He just took it. He just took it and just made it happen. We're going to see here the Badgers just drive right down the field.
And a couple turnover on downs, and now a full-on turnover for this Tigers offense, who we know they're never out of a game. They can definitely explode and score, but this Badgers team overall is playing on a different level right now. Well, this Bartikoski in that shotgun going to have Phillips eventually come over on his right hip, and it will be Phillips up the middle. Lowering that shoulder, the physicality of Justin Phillips. He gets about 3 to 4 yards.
One little thing that, if you're just joining us for the first time, in this playoff game, that is important. A lot of these players on both teams, they play both ways. So you're going to kind of see how that's going to come into play, especially with a stud offensive line like Berkshire has.
Phillips in motion. Fake handoff looking. Bartikoski throwing over the top, and it's caught! What a throw, what a catch by Paul Brent on the left sideline, bottom of your screen, and a huge first down for the Badgers.
We have called his name a few times here tonight. He's been on that left side. He has made critical catches to give them first downs, and another big play there.
The senior receiver, Brent with an amazing play, and the Badgers hurried to the line, but now they'll take an audible. Minute 40 to go in this first half, and Berkshire threatening again.
And they could double up here.
They could. Bartikoski looking against that ball's going to get knocked down. That's going to be incomplete. Great job right there by Jake Evans. He's seen enough. He smacked that ball away.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
like he's blocking a layup.
Jake Evans handled business, but it's something to watch for, too. The clock, too. Minute 32. That did stop the clock because it looked like the plan for the Badgers. They wanted to, take their cake and eat the ice cream, too, however that analogy goes. Because they want score.
Stop making me hungry. It's not even halftime yet. Handoff across at Southern. He works the right side, trying to find a hole, and Southern cuts back through. He gets 2 men to miss, but it didn't matter. He was getting chased by 4. Another flag comes in late. Southern lost a few yards, but they may gain some here. Some tempers flaring on the far side of the field.
See the officials discussing what happened. We have seen throughout this first half penalties really, really doing damage to the Tigers.
Another personal foul going to go against the Tigers. That is huge. Talk about setting them up for another 3rd and long. Now it's going to move 15 yards further down the field, and it's a first down.
We talked about the amount of seniors, and there's a few juniors. Oliver Miller is probably the only sophomore that's playing, on offense or defense for this Badger team. But you're seeing their experience versus the Tigers' lack of experience to this point.
Yeah, just some mistakes just coming through. Some of these penalties have been so costly.
First playoff appearance for Chagrin Falls since 2013. Badgers made it last year.
They're going to call offsides on the defense. The snap wasn't even called yet. I don't know how that was. Maybe just on the ball on defense.
Might have been missed the line, Kyle.
Yeah, I'd imagine that had to be the case. So it's 5 more yards added on. So 20 yards of penalties there. Moves the ball inside the 25-yard line. And the Tigers and their defense right now on the ropes.
And barely any time coming off. Like, the playbook is wide open for the Badgers, who right now do have all 3 timeouts. They can do whatever they want.
And remember, AA mentioned it before, they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, too, this offense that's been able to roll in this first half. But this time the ball comes out. It's on the ground. And I think Chagrin Falls got that. We'll see. Nope, it is. It's Barsakowski who comes up with it. Okay.
Well, what happened, Chagrin Falls should have got – you got to fall on the football.
My
you got to fall on it. You try to pick it up.
I pinballed it back and forth there for a second.
It's a pinball. And it went right back to the Badgers.
It was in the Tigers' hands, and they almost just kind of shock put it over to Barsakowski. He was like, sure, I'll take it and fall on it.
This is what happens. You don't have Windows Millennium Edition. You would have learned that Pinball 2000.
It's a great game as Phillips gets the carry up the middle. And he's going to be right at the first down marker. He may have got it. We'll see the official ruling, maybe just short. They're going to run hurry up. They are appearing to run hurry up at first. Now they'll take a play in from the sideline.
And again, they got all 3 timeouts. I think they're short. Yeah, they're short, like you mentioned here.
And so Barsakowski going to take that snap. Phillips again, right side, lowers the shoulder. He's going to get that first down.
Wonder here if you call timeout.
And they will. They'll take that first one, AA. 27 seconds to go in this first half, and the Badgers are going to have a first down. I believe. They still haven't moved the chains yet, but it looks like that Phillips had it, and they'll have a chance to try and get some more points on the board. Hey, stay comfortable year-round with Air Quality Control Heating and Cooling. Serving Northeast Ohio for over 35 years, they specialize in residential HVAC installation, repair, and maintenance. From air conditioning to heating, they handle everything. Need emergency service? Well, you can call them 24/7. The number, 216-531-5202, and ask for Joe, or visit airqualitycontrolhvac.com for more information and to schedule your appointment. Trust the experts at Air Quality Control for reliable, top-quality HVAC solutions. That's airqualitycontrolhvac.com. Your comfort is our priority.
One thing that Coach John Scott, he's going to talk to his Chagrin Falls team about at halftime. I would imagine the first thing, got to cut down those penalties.
Oh, the mental mistakes, yeah.
Self-inflicting penalties.
Yeah, how many just unsportsmanlike conduct or personal fouls did you see in this first half that just shot this defense in the foot as they tried to get some stops? The defense putting themselves in good spots during the plays, but it's been the extracurriculars afterwards that have doomed the Tigers at this point. Barsakowski rolling out, looking to pass, still on his feet. There he goes, he takes off. Barsakowski slides down to the 15-yard line. Smart play by the junior quarterback. But the clock continues to run, and timeout will be taken.
And full credit to the coaching staff, too, for letting him know, letting the team know, like, hey, we got the timeouts advantage. If nothing's there, take off, run, slide, protect yourself, we'll call timeout.
Timeout gives us a chance to talk to you about Greeny Sports Cards. They're live every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Their social media pages with exclusive hobby talk and interviews, too. You can tune in and interact with them during the show. Of course, you can search Greeny Sports Cards on all social media channels and find the links on their website. That's greenysportscards.com. How do you spell Greeny? It's Greenie, sportscards.com for more information.
Of course, if you are new to our broadcast, coming up at halftime, you got the marching bands performing. But this is a big opportunity, a big moment here for both of these teams, knowing again that the Badgers do start with the football to start the second half.
Remember, they can definitely kick this field goal if they had to. So you don't want to go too crazy and possibly turn the ball over. As Barskowski looks, he steps up in the pocket. He's under pressure, and he's brought down. 10 seconds on the clock, and a timeout taken, I believe, by Berkshire.
Yeah, you take that last one there. Again, nothing's there. You don't want to get the ball back. You want to go away with some kind of points, and you live to play another down. You have the opportunity to do so.
So they're actually going to give them about a yard. So it's going to be 3rd and 6. They could technically take one more shot if they wanted to towards the end zone, but we'll see what happens with that. Hey, you're looking to sell your home? Let Woodlake Realty help you make the move and save big while you're at it. Right now, for a limited time, mention this ad and get your house listed for only 1.5%. It's one of the lowest rates in the market. That's expert service, full exposure, and more money in your pocket. Don't wait. Call Woodlake Realty today and let us make selling your home a breeze. That's right. Remember, just mention this ad for a special 1.5% listing offer. That's Woodlake Realty, where your move matters. Find out more information at www.woodlakere.com.
You know, Chagrin Falls, these last couple of plays have been able to create a little bit of pressure, but, of course, you're the secondary. You got to play your assignments and make sure you're not misaligned.
Here it is again. So 5 more yards. It moves it closer, and you're opening the door. You can see the frustration from Cole Kramer down there, and just giving an opportunity to take a shot even closer at that end zone.
And you got to stay locked in, too. If you're lined up there, like, that's when you need to check with the official to make sure, but those things just cannot happen.
You got to get the players off the field here, too. Looks like they're going to go for the field goal here, Double A. And that's going to be a timeout by Chagrin Falls. So they actually brought out Roman Perchitz to try and kick this one through on 3rd and 1. I mean, you have 9 seconds, so you could technically take just a throw-up shot in the end zone, but maybe you just want to take 3 more points because you know you're getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
So let's think about this for a second. Let's say they were going to run an extra play here. Would it take 7, 8, 9 seconds for your receivers?
It'd have to be quick. It'd have to be basically just an out route at the end zone, essentially, or maybe just a fade really quick.
And especially, too, because now Berkshire, they're out of timeout, so you couldn't throw
you're not
slant
you're not
if
running
you're short
around.
of the end zone.
Yeah, you're not taking the QB
so you know
running
what?
through.
In a way, this makes sense. It'll put you up 3 scores if you're able to get it. Go into half with a 17-0 lead. That's something that Berkshire will discuss or should discuss at halftime. Chagrin Falls does have an opportunity for the onside, but we'll talk about that shortly.
Okay. Had this play come through first as it's blown dead again. Another stoppage of play here.
I think Chagrin called time.
Another timeout.
This is the end of the half of the basketball game doing March Madness.
Back to back. Just wanted to maybe see how they were going to line up, if they were going to bring the offense on the field. And
now, if this was really March Madness, we would have burnt about 5 commercial breaks by now.
Some more decisions to be made down on that sideline for the Badgers and Coach DeWeese. I mean, again, you mentioned it. You could take a quick shot. You don't want to take too much time off the clock.
As you mentioned, an out route, something where you can assure you get out of bounds, get a new set of downs, really, make it closer, but...
Well, you got to tell your quarterback, too, at this point, hey, you can roll out quick if you need to, but get that ball away fast because we want a shot at points. If there's nothing there, don't force it because you don't want to turn the ball over.
And remember, too, if he rolls out or if it's a run play, the clock stops as the chains reset.
So you can always spike it, too, if you had to. But it's got to be quick. And so Barsikowski back out there in the shotgun. Phillips in the backfield. Ball gets placed. There was a whistle, so everyone stopped for a second. But there'll be a play here. Barsikowski looking. Quick throw. There it is. Back shoulder throwing it up, and it's tipped away. Solid defense. Tell you what, that was close, but a great knockaway there from Ryan Curtis.
Ryan Curtis. Coach Scott talked to us about Curtis. We're going to like his play. We like this play in the Fairview game.
6'3" senior able to use that height and smack that ball out of the hands of Brent. So 4th down and 1 leads to a field goal attempt. Again, remember last time it was blocked, but there was a penalty that negated it. So we'll see what Roman Perchik, the junior kicker, can do.
I like how the Badgers handled this situation, though, right? You had the time. utilize as much clock to timeouts as you can.
High snap. Birch is still able to kick it up, and that one is good. Right down the middle. 1 second to go in the half. 17-0 the score as the lights go on and off for field goals too. Great job and a good kick right there by Roman Birchich. He knocks that one in, and it's now a 3-possession game in favor of the Badgers.
Again, I love how Coach DeWeese and the whole coaching staff, how they handled those last 2 minutes there. That's picture perfect. You get a 3-score lead. You use all the clock that you can, and the goal was to make sure that there was barely any time left for Chagrin Falls to get the football back.
Yeah, the only negative is there's 1 second.
There's 1 second.
You wish you could have taken that last one off if you could have. Maybe kicked it a little bit higher. But nevertheless, he'll take the 3 points, and with 1 second to go here, Chagrin Falls is going to get an opportunity. We've seen some crazy things happen, so you never know. And I'd imagine this time you don't tell your guys to fall in it. You just pick it up and see what you can do.
Now, there's two extra up men at about the 43 for Chagrin Falls, right behind the front line.
Just in case you get a little dicey and want to kick it shorter. Again, I'd imagine this is not a situation where...
Kick this thing high.
Yeah.
Kick it high. Get some hang time with this kick.
Do you just kick it off normal? Do you kick it deep?
Mm-hmm.
You got options here. And no, it's just going to be a short little chopper, and again, just falling on the ball, and that's going to take us in to halftime with the score, 17-0. Berkshire on top of Chagrin Falls right here on CVC TV. Of course, you're going to hear the bands, and then after that, we'll break down the first half and get you second half coverage, high school playoff football right here on ChagrinValleyConference.com. Time for a break. Back in a little bit.
Have you ever had an unwanted guest? No, not your ex, not your neighbor. I'm talking about an animal that belongs outside that you find inside your home. Well, guess what? Alpha Animal Removal will take care of all of that for you. From trapping and removal to animal damage repair to prevention screening and more. Alpha Animal Removal will ensure your unwelcome guest stays out. So the next time you need to trap or remove your unwanted wildlife guest, go to alpha-animal-removal.com.
He shoots, he scores!
Think you have what it takes to be a sports broadcaster if you have a passion for sports. Ohio Media School can train you in just 8 short months to be an announcer, host, radio personality, and so much more. Get paid to talk sports, flexible class schedule, hands-on training and financial aid for those who qualify. Start your career now by visiting us online at beonair.com or call 3-112-884-8000.
Under the direction of Cassidy Reed, Rob Sudnowski, and Sir Alex Walker. The band is led in the field by student field commanders Claire Gutty and Erie Radcliffe. Tonight, we are presenting our Groundhog Day Senior Band Show. If you were here last week, you know that all the songs have been hand-selected by our senior class. So to kick off tonight, 2013, by the band One Republic, here is Counting Star.
Next up, rinse and repeat. The seniors chose from Sir Elton John's vast song collection, with 31 albums released since 1969, and picking one of his first major hits. Here is Crocodile Rock. For our last selection, the most popular song from last week and from the last decade, here is Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson, Uptown Funk.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 playoff halftime performance of the 2024 Berkshire Marching Badgers. The band is led on the field by student cohort commander Austin Berger and is under the direction of Mr. Matt Hadsel, handsome assistant Mr. Sean Epler, and Badgerette coach Jenny Hodge. Tonight we present to you the class of 2025 Memories Show. 3 songs that these seniors have played previously in their high school careers brought back better than ever. And we're gonna start off with a Fall Out Boy anthem. Warm up with us, it's Immortals. Great job, Marching Badgers. All right, Marching Badgers. All right, crowd, let's see if you know this one. Carry on my wayward son. Lay your weary head to rest. remember this one. It's an old classic brought back, and I will not attempt to sing it. It's Thriller. Great job, Badgerettes, and thank you to the Chagrin Falls High School Marching Band for playing tonight. It's our third time seeing them perform at the Great Lakes Cheese Stadium this season, and we thank them for always bringing their best show. Now, go get your rodeo burger, your walking taco, or your double cheeseburger at concessions. And as always, go Badgers! Congratulations and good luck to the Chagrin Falls and Berkshire girls soccer teams as they compete tomorrow.
Welcome back in, folks. Halftime here at Great Lakes Cheese Stadium. The score 17-0. The Berkshire Badgers on top of the Chagrin Falls Tigers here on CVC TV. Again, as always, Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you on the call for high school football action and, of course, playoffs, Week 11 this week. And I'll tell you what, that first half AA was all Badgers.
Yes, it was. And and I want to give as much credit as I can to the Badgers because, again, the offensive line full of studs across the board. Justin Phillips, I love his play and everything and whatnot, but I can't help but think of all the self-inflicting penalties that the Tigers had in that first half. That, it's one thing to to lose because the other team is better, to be losing because the other team is better, out-talent you and whatnot. But it's you can't be giving up self-inflicting penalties. And I'm sure that was a major talking point in the locker room at halftime.
I would imagine so. All the different personal fouls we saw just after the whistle plays that kind of just kept keeping the Badgers' drives alive. Even when the defense for Chagrin Falls was playing well, those self-inflicted issues just kept popping up, and it just kept the door open. And obviously the Badgers kicked it through with the 17-0 lead. And the playoffs at this point, when you're building these kind of early leads, and of course now starting with the ball in this third quarter, Berkshire's got to be thrilled with their spot.
Yes, they do. And again, they do a great job controlling the clock. And the one thing that's impressive, this team full of upperclassmen, they do a lot of the little things that you need to go deep, to have a deep run in the playoffs. Your star players, even when they don't have the football, they're one of the first ones out there on the perimeter making critical blocks, making key blocks. They know what to do with the clock. I love everything that I see, and then the speed defensively from this Badger defense is on the money.
It's truly fantastic, and we saw different players step up in big points throughout that first half. Talk about Abram Southern with a couple big catches, obviously, and then obviously a run two on that first down and goal from the 13-yard line when he got pushed back after a false start, and he got 12 on that play to set them up. Obviously, we know what Justin Phillips brings to the table on defense, and of course rushing for 2 touchdowns in that first half too. And how about the junior quarterback, Sam Barsikoski? Talk about just stepping up in some big moments and making plays, making smart decisions. His first year as a starting quarterback, and he's really been able to grow throughout the year. 7 wins in the regular season, including last week, over this same Chagrin Falls team. And he's put his team in a great spot right now by managing this game at a really high level.
And that's what Coach DeWeese talked to us about during the pregame. He keeps the offense in sync. He's been doing that all year, and he has done that tonight. I'm very impressed. The last drive before halftime, even the little things. Hey, nothing's open. You have the timeouts to set up, ready to go. Let's run, slide, don't take any unnecessary punishment. Coach DeWeese going to call the timeout. It's those little things that he does, and he's done a very good job operating this offense.
Now, I guess the question, too, for Coach Scott on the other side in Chagrin Falls is how do you respond on offense? It's been now back-to-back weeks you've struggled to really get points on the board here at this stadium. I'm kind of lost for words. I know obviously we talk about not having those penalties, but even then, that's more on the defensive side we've seen more or less. Offensively, a couple turnover on downs, an interception. You don't get many drives against just Badger defense because the offense holds onto the ball for so long.
And you got to wonder, too, Jacob Kay took a big shot. The coaches and the trainers did everything, to make sure he didn't have a concussion and whatnot. But you still got to wonder what his condition is physically, because that was a huge shot, that he took. But let's see what happens here. I would imagine, we saw Chagrin Falls do an onside kick earlier, against Fairview. So maybe you try to steal possession here. But if not, defensively, you got to lock in and just play disciplined football. You got to check with the officials if you're at the line to make sure you're not offside. You're not, in the neutral zone there. It's just those little things. But offensively, high percentage plays. Just got to get the ball moving.
Definitely do, as Christian Trudick will kick this ball away when we find one.
Oh, yeah, you need a football to play, the second half of this playoff game. Now, without the football, you can do a lot of shadow formations.
Yeah.
They do that in boxing. You can do, shadow boxing and whatnot.
We're going to need you to project, where that football is.
You can do shadow football. Somebody has a flashlight. Just follow the spotlight.
I am actually genuinely concerned about where this football is.
There
we go.
Oh, now we have a football.
Taking the run.
Okay.
Taking the run. There we go. We made it. We're here.
We were joking. I'm like, actually, there is no football.
Yeah. You can see the tee out there. It stands out on that white 40-yard line, and we were waiting to make sure maybe there's an extra one up in the booth we could find.
Oh, boy.
We could do to make sure these guys can get some second half football in here.
These footballs are well kept during halftime. Of course, this OHSA crew.
Keeping them warm.
Got a couple up backs, anticipating just in case there's an onside attempt.
So it's a line drive kick going to be taken by Stutt. Fumbled a little bit at the 15, but he'll recover. Now Stutt working right side, back towards middle, and he's brought down. Great job on the coverage on special teams for the Tigers, and that is where the Badgers will take over on about their own 16, 17-yard line.
You want to know the hardest quarter for the home team who's leading to play? It's the third quarter. You know, everyone here is comfortable. You know, you got the band just performed at halftime, so they're at the concessions, and the fans, they're coming back from the concessions. So it's important for the Badgers to really win this drive right here coming out of halftime. They did it last week, coming out of halftime. They got to do it again.
Imperative to keep that momentum if you're this offense for Berkshire. Marzakowski going now under center. Will turn, quick handoff. And great job there, pushing back. Chagrin Falls in that defense. A brick wall right there, just nowhere to go on the carry. Yeah, Phillips just got stuffed.
Yeah, good defense there. Of course, anticipating what happens. Of course, the Badgers zeroing in there a little bit. Got to be careful, though, defensively, though, too, because, you know, once you hear the whistle, got to stop, because that extra push, depending on the officiating crew, that could have been a penalty as well.
They got actually about a yard or two on that carry, so Phillips found his way through. Handoff again up the middle. Not much going there as Phillips got another one, and few more yards, maybe 2 or 3, so it's going to bring up third and manageable, about 5 to 6 on this opening drive of the third quarter for the Badgers.
You know, and again, so far defensively, first down and second down hasn't really been too much of an issue for the Tigers. It's been third down. That's been down. That's
and
been
fourth.
And fourth.
Yeah.
And fourth when the Badgers go for it on fourth. But let's see here at the Badgers side to air it out.
Barzakowski again in that shotgun. Couple players in motion. There you see Southern now at the bottom of your screen. Handoff, Phillips, right side. Lowers his shoulder, pushing through near the 30. He's going to be close, but he may be just short. We'll see where they mark that ball.
Big man got in there. I think Jake Evans.
Oh, he's been all over the field, too, in this game. The senior.
But, yeah, you're right, Kyle. This is going to be really close. It's going to be a fourth and within inches, to be perfectly honest.
But that ball is marked. Yeah, it looks like they are very close. If you measured this possibly, as the clock did stop at 10:24 in this third quarter. And they are. Yep, they're going to pull out the measuring double.
Again, chain gang is a very, very important job. It ain't just about volunteering. You got to be ready.
They don't get ready, they stay ready.
That's right.
And yeah, it looks like
just by an inch right there.
Yeah, going to be short by maybe a half a yard. Well, they're fixing the chain on the other side, so we'll see if they move it at all. But as it stands right there, they would be short.
What they got to fix on the other side?
They were moving some things around.
Oh, man. What happens when you walk out there and you stumble?
Well, now they're moving the chains to the middle of the field because that spot wasn't actually where the ball was, you know, down.
It's too much math on a Friday night. Too much.
Well, if I carry the one, no, that's not.
No, that's algebra. We're talking geometry here.
My son's in first grade. I still have more time. This is I can still answer all these questions. Once he gets to third, I'm done.
Oh, man. The kids, they make it look so easy now. You try to show math to parents.
My son got 100% on his spelling test the other day. I was really proud of him.
There you go.
Yeah, not to toot my own horn here as a dad, but I was excited.
All right, let's hurry up here. You got to watch here. Make sure you don't jump if you're the defense.
Discipline needed on that Chagrin Falls side of the field. And see if Barzakowski can make some more magic for this offense. Going to go under center. Take the snap. Going to turn, run, gets forward, and he's going to have the first down.
And he did the smart thing, Kyle. He kind of took a little back step, watched the opening on the left side, and created that pocket to get the first.
6 foot, 165-pound junior quarterback. Just, turn that corner, let the offensive line do their job, get a block. And then just take that alley on the left side and dive forward for a couple yards. They only needed about half a yard. He got plenty.
And as you mentioned, success on 4th down. Berkshire's been on the ball with that.
Handoff, cross, through, nowhere to go. As the Tigers this time swarmed to the football, and Andrew Kempton had just nowhere to cut through. Maybe a yard, half a yard, if that, on the carry.
This defense is doing a better job to get on these initial drives to really crash in there. But again, if you're the Badgers up 17, it's not really, I'll put it to you this way. There isn't an incentive to put the ball in the air, but you could surprise them.
Definitely could. We've seen.
Get it back to Paul Brent, number 84 here at the bottom of the screen.
Got Southern in the flat too, or in the slot rather, in the top. This will be a handoff, left side. Phillips lowering his shoulder, spitting through, and getting a gain of about 4 more. So again, 3rd and about 5 coming up for the Badgers.
You know what's interesting about Phillips? 6 foot even, 200 pounds. The way he's able to slip through, because he is mastering dipping his shoulders and creating extra yards. You see it on that. You saw it in the last play. He really gained probably 2 extra yards just by dipping his shoulders.
Yeah, leaning forward, using those legs too to churn.
He plays small even though he's a big man.
In need of a big play, 3rd, and they're going to call it about 4. Zakowski throwing middle. It is caught. Trying to punch that ball out of Chagrin Falls inside the 50, past midfield. What a catch. Right over the middle. Big play right there from Stott. And again, just coming up with those big moments. It seems like Berkshire's been able to do that all game long, Double.
And he did that defensively too, but coming through on the offense, getting that opening, staying behind in the pocket. And again, as you mentioned, this quarterback in sync, managing this offense.
Barskowski's been great today. Looking to pass again. It's a quick out to the outside. The ball tipped. It's bobbled up in the air, and it is going to be incomplete. Good hit on the receiver was Caden Villeneuve, who knocked that ball out to the intended receiver, Brady Wadsworth.
Turned into a bit of a dangerous play there offensively.
Until the ball's bouncing around up in the air, you get a little nervous, but it's live to fight another day for the offense. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And I think they're going to live to run the ball here a little bit. But hey, you do need to mix things up just a tad bit. You know, I talked about it a couple minutes ago, like just mix things up. Now you got what trips up top here, but you got to run it.
Yep, Phillips, bottom of your screen, running through, trying to get some opening. Look at blow his shoulder and knock a man down. Justin Phillips, one of the most dangerous 7-yard runs you're going to see in high school football. Wow.
Listen.
Double A almost went to the back of the press box. He almost flew back with the shockwave off that lowering of the shoulder.
I'm not even going to say a word. Just listen. Right there. Just right there. I know we don't have like extra mics and stuff on the field, but you felt it.
They can hear it up here. They can hear it over at the fairgrounds and all throughout Burton.
Man.
What a truck from Phillips. An aggressive 7-yard run brings up 3rd and short. He'll get it again. Phillips right side, breaking through. Justin Phillips turns the corner and gets the 1st down to the 25-yard line. 17-yard run for number 4.
This guy's the real deal. I mean, what else can you say? He is the real deal. And this offensive line, right on it, 4 seniors on this offensive line, and a 3-year starter as a junior in there too. This is what they do. It's their bread and butter.
Giving it to the senior running back, letting them do work. Barsikowski getting the shotgun. Another handoff. Phillips left side, working through. Inside the 20. Flag comes in late again. And that's against Chagrin Falls. That's.
Yeah, that flag came in late.
We'll see Anhu.
Personal foul. Offense number 73.
Wow, so that's going to go against the Badgers. So for the first time in this game, a personal foul caught against the home team in purple and black. They'll have to move backwards despite Phillips with another solid run.
Yeah, against Danny Tiller. And for the first time seemingly all game.
It's been a while since they've been behind the sticks, and
they're behind the sticks, and penalty on the Badger side of things.
But the way the offense is moving the football, Double A, I don't know if they really mind this that much. They get to burn more time off the clock and try to inch closer to week 12 of the high school football season.
True, but if you're Chagrin defense, you need some kind of an opening.
Handoff, bottom of your screen, working through. Miller gets the carry, gets a few back on that play, maybe 3.
Play that offensive, switch up there, a little bit of a breather you want to give to Phillips. Of course, you're preparing for perhaps a big pass play, of course, with this being 3rd and 15 coming up.
Yeah, big chunk here, but don't forget you got a kicker that can really get that ball through. Remember, it was a bad snap on that 27-yard field goal. That was good, but he still hit that ball higher than the North Pole. 3rd and 15. Handoff, Miller, right side. He cuts through. Miller finds a hole. Back inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line.
This sophomore, way he's able to cut, and again, a kick-out block to set things up again. This team does an unbelievable job, and again, change the pace. Miller comes out, Phillips is back in, number 4, and I have no doubt that on this 4th and 1, you know who to get in the football on this play.
But can you stop him is the question. That multi-back line up there is Phillips with the carry, cuts upfield, breaks through, jumps over a tackler, and gets the first down. Justin Phillips with the strut on the way back. What an amazing carry for Phillips, and the Badgers continue to roll.
That might be one of the most amazing 4th and 1 runs I have ever seen. Just electricity. And again, just the blocking, just going off the tackle.
You're hoping to get a yard or 2 on that. He gets about 11, and he gets it inside 10-yard line, so it's 1st and goal.
And it's the same path that Miller had.
Speaking of Miller, he gets the carry. Miller lowers the shoulder, gets inside, and scores! Oliver Miller with his first touchdown of the game, and the lead now goes to 23-0.
Oh man, that kick out block too. The block in this game's been unbelievable. And again, that switch up between Phillips and Miller, the change of pace, the quickness of the young tailback, and then of course, Phillips, just the power is just unreal.
So an over 7-minute drive ends in a touchdown for the Badgers. Another rushing score. Low snap, kick on the way though, up, and it is good. Omen Berkshire going to get some credit for being able to keep that timing down despite some rough snaps tonight. And now the score 24-0 right here on CVC TV. Hey, have you ever had an unwanted guest in your home? I'm not talking about you, Double A. I'm talking about unwanted wildlife guests. Well, don't worry. Alpha Animal Removal is Northeast Ohio's #1 service for animal control. Get this, they even specialize in the exclusion and humane removal of things like bats. I know we're past Halloween, but they still are around. Trust me.
It's not a one-day occurrence.
It's not. It can be all year. Trust me on that one. If you need your wildlife guests to be safely trapped and removed, visit alphaanimalremoval.com. That's alphaanimalremoval.com. They've got you covered.
Again, every time we talk about that backfield and this offensive line for the Badgers, they just continue to impress. And I don't know what else you can say, because taking full advantage. I mean, imagine that. We'll start in 15. And like, hey, Oliver Miller, here's the football. Good luck with it. Gets a big carry.
It's unbelievable.
And then Phillips comes in, runs the exact same path.
It just makes it all count. That ball going to stop and eventually go out of bounds. Tell you what, it was almost tracked down by Miller on the bottom of your screen. He's got those wheels, and it's a live ball if it goes past 10 yards. But the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to get moved up here in some good field position for the Tigers offense, who they're going to get a shot here in this third quarter, Double A, but 4:51 to go in the third frame already. It's so much time taken off. They only had 3 possessions, I believe, in that first half. I mean, just it's so difficult to get the ball against this Berkshire team because they hold on to it for so long, and the Tigers have not been looking very consistent on the offensive end.
And that's a huge point there, as you just made, too. Like, this is their first offense possession of this half.
Yes.
And so you're already playing without the advantage now. They're going to re-kick.
Oh.
I believe the penalty was declined.
So they want another shot at the kickoff, which is...
okay.
I guess you're trying to set up a return and maybe you try to make a big play here. You decide not to.
Now the ball would have went to
40
to the 35.
35, yeah.
The ball would have went to the 35.
So maybe they move backwards here a little bit too. They would normally kick off at the 40. Now they're at the 35. So.
Again, all mind games.
Well,
right?
no time came off the clock, so I guess no harm, no foul. If you want to try and get a return and get even further up the field, this is your opportunity. But don't forget, I mean, the kicker, Roman Berkshire, can boot that ball if he really needs to.
Give it a shot. See what happens.
So we'll get a rewind and a second chance. This one's a low line drive kick. It's off the...
Oh, my goodness.
The gunner sliding in like a baseball slide was Miller, and all that for another 5 yards. But nevertheless, it's going to stay Chagrin football. But, I mean, that's dangerous stuff away.
I don't know if you just watched the football game or the World Series.
Well, he was safe.
Hey, if you want straight up, you get this or that. You pick door number 1 or door number 2.
Technically, this worked. They got
door
5 extra yards.
Door number 2 gave you 5 extra yards.
And in a game where you need this little extra added bonus, if you're the Chagrin Falls Tiger offense, you'll take that 5 extra yards, as now it's 1st and 10 on their 40.
But you're right, though. The lack of possessions here for Chagrin, you feel it's now or never right now.
You got to make something happen on this possession, you would imagine. The end-around handoff, and it was actually kept by Kay, who is still working through, and he got slammed at the end of that. The referee came out holding the flag just in case. There's been some physicality down there tonight.
That ref almost threw that flag.
Yeah,
he changed his mind. He changed his mind.
He put that back in his pocket, but he came out with it in that right hand, ready to go. Kay managed to get a couple yards on that keeper. It was a great job to wait till the last second to hold it. Jacob Kay now looking to pass. Rolling out to his right. Back foot throws. It is caught. Right here on the near side. Going to be close to a first down. That was Jack Medhurst who made the play. So they're going to be 3rd and short coming up. Tigers trying to show some life on offense.
Yeah, and they're going to have to show that life against a very, very fiery defense.
It's so physical, too, just the hits you're seeing. I mean, it wasn't just the truck from, of course, Phillips on the offensive end. Defensively, too, it just seems when they're making those hits, hitting those tackles, even when they're hitting the players that don't have the football, it just feels like the physicality is up to 11 on the Badgers side.
Yeah, the defender who made the play on the player that didn't have the football, I know technically he's not going to get credited for the tackle, but that was a great tackle.
Can we count it as like a half a tackle or something? How do we do that? Is it's 3rd and short. Kay get a hand off, left side, lowering shoulders. McKee working his way through, and he's right at that first down marker based on the spot. It looks like he's going to have it.
It should be enough, but the official, I don't know.
And there it is. They are going to wave the chains down. So McKee comes in, gets the carry, and moves the chains for the Tigers.
And again, it's not as if the Tigers are not capable of having long drives on their own end, but...
Well, they need some big hits, Double A, because you're down 24-0 in the 3rd quarter, and the clock is ticking right now. So as much as you want to keep running the football, you almost have to trust Jacob Kay to make some plays down the field. There it is, a shot, right side, looking for Zelich, throwing it up, it's behind, and it's incomplete. Underthrown football, one of the few times we've seen Kay not be able to get it out there, and Zelich almost came back and caught that.
Yeah, and he's going to have to do a little bit more of that. This secondary, they're playing, look, we're not going to give up or try not to give up the big play. Safety or Miller is always going to drop back. Corners are playing off. Daring, you almost might have to do slant or nothing.
Snap was low. Kay throwing across his body. That's incomplete. Looking for the receiver on the far side there. That was number 80, Brady DeVito. We saw him make a few plays against Fairview a few weeks back, but now 3rd and long coming up.
Well, the one thing we've not seen tonight is that slant with Zelch. We just haven't seen it.
It was money.
Yeah.
I mean, they went to that play probably 4 or 5 times, and every time Zelch made the catch. And
we haven't seen it at all tonight.
Yeah, it's been shut down essentially by this Badger defense. It's also Miller in the middle, too. You don't want to take too many chances with him over there.
True.
And it's going to be a keeper for Kay on 3rd down. He's got some room. Spins through. Jacob Kay still on his feet, spinning back. Kay breaking inside the 25. down to the 22-yard line. Jacob Kay, for the first time in this game, really using his legs, and it's a huge game for Chagrin Falls.
I think Jacob Kay knows the circle button. Used it once, used it twice. The button got stuck the third time, but he was able to get the first down. Great seal-off block there, too, up front. Getting the first.
Kay again going to drop the pass. Looking, stepping up. Kay rolling out to his left. Off his back foot throw. Sidearm. It's caught. Flag comes in late inside the 10. On the catch was DeVito. We'll see what the call is. Usually in the area of pass interference if it comes down or some sort of holding. Miller got there.
Again, you talk about the quickness that the Tigers need. Well, obviously depends on what the penalty is going to be there, but DeVito's just sitting there in that pocket. But did he use illegal tactics to get open there?
The sidearm sling from Kay. They're calling pass interference on the defense there. So there was 2 penalties on that play, double A. Both teams doing a little bit of wrongdoing, so to speak. So we're just going to replay the down. So it would have been a first down and goal if they would have counted.
Well, that turns into a W, at least for the Badgers, honestly.
Yeah, an offsetting penalty helps the team that didn't get, in a bad situation to give up on the catch there.
Because I thought Kay made a great play. Like, was able to, because he threw that off his back foot.
Well, you see, turned his body back. He flipped his hips and then kind of sidearm flipped it out there. And it was a great catch, too, by DeVito, who turned upfield, but some extracurriculars during the play. Kay again in that shotgun, looking, passing, short, right side. That's caught. Zelch turns upfield, back inside the 10, and Zelch gets down to about the 7. Haven't called his name too much, but Drew Zelch moves it.
And this is the athleticism that he brings, the yards after contact, is able to create those extra yards. And Chagrin able to try to take full advantage of their first offensive possession of this half.
They kind of have to at this point, down 24-0 against the Badgers. And Zelch not an overly big receiver, 5'9", 160, but still able to make some big plays out there and is shifty. Kay again looking to pass. Looking right side, going to step up. Kay slips, almost falls down. This time he's brought down. Big sack right there for Andrew Kimpton, the senior. And it looks like Kay was going to try and roll out to his left to make something happen, but the slip lost a step there, and Kimpton able to capitalize.
If he was able to maintain that step, he would have been very close to the end zone. He might have scored, so that slip made a huge difference.
Second down. And goal from the 12. Kay under pressure, going to get brought down again. The Badgers get there. Was that Kimpton again? I think it was.
Yes, it was.
Andrew Kimpton back-to-back sacks on Jacob Kay.
There was a hit, a hesitation from Kimpton. It was like, I can't believe the quarterback's right there. It's like, boom, take it. And he just did.
What a play by Kimpton. I should say plays by Kimpton, back-to-back times. Look at where they're at now. Chagrin Falls back on the 20-yard line on 3rd and goal. Taking a shot. Zelch caught, touchdown! Drew Zelch says 20 yards, no problem. And the Tigers are on the board for the first time tonight.
That was fantastic. And that was under pressure, too. Came right down with the ball. Great job by Chagrin Falls. After 2 big plays defensively, what a response for this Tigers team. But is this a heel too big to overcome? We'll see.
Is there enough possessions left in the ballgame? Because again, the Chagrin Falls defense hasn't been able to stop the Badgers offense throughout. They've been able to take plenty of time off the clock and get points seemingly on every possession.
Now, the game that we covered was Chagrin against Fairview. At the end of the game, they outscored Fairview 24-0. They need 24 points to tie this game.
Well, the Badgers already scored 2 in this half. They took that 7+ minute drive as they look like they're going to go for 2 points here, which would make sense. You need 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions to tie it. Kay throwing outside. It's caught, and it's going to be 2 more points. Great little out pass to Cole Dukas. First time we've called his name all night tonight, and now it's 24-8.
That was a great find there in the flat. Did a great job. Chagrin Falls with their first possession of the second half. Gets it to within, 16 there?
Yep, so now officially a 2-possession game. Looking forward to more action here in the third quarter. Hey, if you're also looking to buy, sell, trade, or repair your ATVs and equipment, look no further than Hobby Motorsports and Equipment. They offer top deals and expert repairs for all your motorsports needs. Whether you're upgrading or need a quick fix, their team has got you covered. Visit them on Facebook, just search Hobby Motorsports and Equipment, or go to their location at 7935 Euclid Chardon Road over in Kirtland. Hobby Motorsports and Equipment, your trusted source for all things ATV and equipment. Also, of course, shout out to our presenting sponsor for CVC TV, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, all season long.
Of course, for Chagrin, their first points of the game. Of course, the Badgers getting 17 of their initial points in the first half. And then the touchdown. Again, defensively, Chagrin's got to find answers for this rushing attack.
Trying to throw these T-shirts, tell you what, it's hitting the top of the press box as some of the students are tossing out some T-shirts. Double A, keep your hands in the press box. Those are for the fans, okay? Dang. Hate to break the news to you, partner, but
he was throwing it my way.
Low line drive kick, but it's called dead before we can even get moving here. It's going to be offsides, and I think we're going to have to re-kick again. So they should have to move this ball back about 5 yards.
Again, we'd like to mention as well, take the opportunity to like and subscribe CVC TV. Of course, right below this video. And check out ChagrinValleyConference.com. 14 Chagrin Valley Conference teams in the postseason. 2 of them on your screens right now.
Who's going to be left standing? We know some score updates. Another all-CVC matchup at halftime. It was Geneva up over Madison, 14-3. That's always a fun game. Had, of course, week 9 of this season.
Of course,
went Geneva's way.
Yeah, of course, 2 defending state champions in the CVC, Perry and Kirtland, back in the playoffs, of course, this year.
With a line drive kick that's going to curtail all the way down inside the 5, and they're going to have to pick this one up. Here we go from their own 2-yard line. Turning upfield and eventually going out of bounds on the return was Miller, who was able to salvage something out of that, but a great kickoff, and that's going to be tough field position for this offense. But the way they've been able to move the ball, Double A, you almost don't mind having a full field here.
Yeah, you know what, though? That was a little bit of a big deal, though, because that ball
stopped like right at the 2-yard line.
Yes.
Inbounds.
Inbounds.
So you had to pick that thing up.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, well, then we have a different story.
That's a different story. But, again, playing that field position battle. But, Kyle, you might be right, though. Just be able to just maneuver down the field. Tigers got to figure out a way to get some stops.
82 yards to play with here if you're the Badgers. Handoff, Phillips, bottom of your screen working through. He's still pushing forward. Justin Phillips will not go down. Eventually he has to because there's about 9 guys trying to tackle him.
I think he might need a 10th. Phillips is playing, I don't know, like he's a senior. Like this is his last opportunity here to really get things going. Again, if you just join us, his story, interesting. So we got an injury timeout. His story, interesting. Returned from injury back in week number 4. And, Coach DeWeese talked about, like, his, we've seen it from teams. When you have one player return, how different your offense and defense can be. And we're not just talking about on the field, too. You're talking about a leader for the seniors.
Yeah.
This young man is that dude. And he showed it on the field, and he shows it, within the locker room.
Shows up on the stat sheet, obviously. 2 touchdown carries tonight for Justin Phillips. And even before that, we mentioned the blocks for Oliver Miller, the blocks for the different backs that have been getting carries, the receivers. We talk about Abram Southern, who had that carry on that 1st and goal from the 13-yard line when they had that penalty. It was Phillips making those big plays on those blocks to open things up for his team. And, of course, we know he makes an impact on defense, too. It's phenomenal to watch number 4 operate in that purple jersey down there.
And again, we cannot express enough, again, the specialty of this offensive line. You know, just across the board, you got 4 seniors, as we mentioned before, and the one who's not a senior is a junior who started ever since, you know, freshman, day one as a freshman. So experience up front, the absolute cornerstones of this Badger offense and defense. So they're playing on the defensive line too.
Alex Hardy able to get off under his own power, some cramping down there here. Phillips another carry on 2nd and short. He's going to gallop forward for another gain of about 5 to 6 yards and a first down as the clock continues to run.
And what do you do when Phillips is lined up in the fullback position? And that burst of speed coming right off, he only takes 1 step before getting the football in that position. Man, good luck.
Talk about less than a second to fire off your block and try to make a play there.
Of course, 98 yards Phillips is at right now on the ground.
It's going to be a carry up the middle. I think that may have been Phillips again. Nope, that wasn't. That was Reiser who got the carry. And that's how we end the 3rd quarter. So Aiden Reiser gets the last carry of this 3rd frame. 24-8 as we head into the 4th. The Badgers on top of the Tigers right here on CVC TV. Hey, if you're looking to break into the exciting world of broadcasting, film, or digital media and want to be just like my broadcast partner, AA Anthony Alford, well, the Ohio Media School in Cleveland offers hands-on training in TV and radio broadcasting, audio production, sports broadcasting, and more. Their real-world approach, taught by industry professionals, ensures you're job-ready in just about 8 months. And they're located conveniently over in Valley View. It's Cleveland campus. It's your gateway to a rewarding career here in media. Visit beonair.com to start your journey today.
You know, a lot of people, when they enter their sports programs, like, who do you want to be? You know, like, who do you aspire to be? And a lot of great names are brought up.
We hear Fred McLeod. We hear, obviously, Jim Donovan. We hear, rest in peace, we hear a lot of different people. But AA Anthony Alford comes up a lot. You'd be surprised. He's among the greats, and he graces us with his presence every week here in the booth. Always appreciate you, partner.
Well, thank you.
Hand off bottom of your screen to start the 4th quarter.
Your check will be in the mail on Monday.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
Oliver Miller gets the carry.
No, but a lot of people do mention Jim Donovan. Of course, passed it away last weekend. Send our condolences, of course, to the family. And, you know, major impact in this profession, in this business. Love calling Cleveland Browns football.
Miller getting some work here. Oliver Miller turns the corner and gets a solid gain. And about 7 more for Miller, as him and Phillips have been a great 1-2 punch tonight.
Well, this time next year, Miller's going to be the one. I mean, just to think about, you know, this young man's just only a sophomore. 5'8", 165 pounds. He's going to put on more muscle in the offseason. I'm sure he competes in other sports, too. It's going to be big time.
Speaking of big time, how important has the play been for Sam Barsakowski as he hands off? Miller again going to get this time caught.
I wonder if he got just enough forward progress for the first down.
Looks like he's right on that line. Kramer was there, as well as Sean McKee. You've seen him run the ball in his own right, but Miller was really close. And they're going to say he's short AA.
Just
half a yard, maybe.
Just a hair, yeah.
What about the tortoise? No, I'm kidding. 3rd and short. Was that reaching? I'm sorry.
Well, if Phillips here reaches, he's 2 yards away from 100 yards.
Gonna get the carry. Phillips working right side, cuts back through. Well, there's the 100, and then he's past the 40, still on his feet, eventually spun down inside the 35 to the 32-yard line.
That's how you make your mark on this football game. Get a little bit of rest, come in, handle business.
I need 2, I got 15. There you go.
Man,
what
just incredible. What a night.
It could be potentially his last home game. Justin Phillips showing up tonight. Barsakowski getting the play in from Coach DeWeese. Phillips and Reiser in the backfield. Handoff to Phillips, working through the middle, just jump cutting his way through to another first down.
And his game is essentially jump cuts. That's his specialties. Is how many times have we seen him leave the ground a little bit as he's running the football? It's just smooth. And now here in the second half, it's a mix of Phillips, and now Miller's back in, number 22.
It's been a steady diet of this running attack, as expected here in this fourth quarter, as the Badgers don't mind taking the ball and running it consistently. And again, they're able to keep moving the chains too. It's not like, hey, we have to throw the football because we're in 3rd and long. They keep getting first downs on the ground. Miller leans forward, took a shot, was able to work his way through and get a positive gain again.
And while this defense is doing the absolute best they can to just keep up, you can tell they're starting to really, really wear down.
So many plays for this defense too, Double A. You mentioned a lot of players obviously going both directions on offense and defense for both teams. I mean, it can be a lot when you're down in the game by multiple scores. You can't seem to get off the field on the defensive end. It's frustrating. They just keep running the football over and over again, and it's a tough task for any defense.
And how many times, even the last 2 weeks, including last week's game between these two teams, that the Badgers have had long drives and kept the ball away from Chagrin Falls.
Fake handoff. Miller gets the carry on the real one inside the 20-yard line.
You know, we talked about the opening drive from last week's game between these two teams, where the Badgers was able to just go right down the field. And Coach Scott talked about it from Chagrin Falls, like, we got to find a way to contain those 5-yard gains, 6-yard gains, 4-yard gains. But that's been the Badgers' specialties. That's what they're gaining.
2 and a 1 on this sequence of downs as the Tigers, if you're going to make a stop and a stand, this is the time to do it right now, forcing a 3rd and 7. Ball's on the Tigers' 17-yard line. Still a 2-possession game, at least for now. Barsikowski going to be in the shotgun with Miller on his now left hip. And a flag coming in. Is that a delay?
Should be a false start. It was 1 second left on the play clock.
And it will be. So 5 yards back now. This is an opening for the Tigers. 3rd and 12 coming up. But again, when they've been put in these longer positions, it seems like the Badgers have always had an answer on offense.
They have. And, you know, even before the previous scoring drive for the Badgers, it was a 3rd and 15. And Miller had a long run that he gained, 14 yards, I believe, on that play.
Yeah, and then instead of a 4th and 1, and they gave it to Phillips, and he got 11. So, I mean, they've been able to keep these manageable 4th downs off of a solid 3rd down play. Let's see what they have now drawn up. Coach DeWeese and company sending in the play. Barsikowski looking to pass, rolling out left side, the lefty throws it up. It's a jump ball. It is tipped in. Incomplete. Tell you what, anytime you throw the ball at the Paul Brent, you feel pretty good about it, but that one just goes through his hands, incomplete, and it was a jump ball essentially with a couple different white jerseys over there.
Ball hung a little bit too high. You go back in the film, if that ball was zipped in, that's open.
Might be a touchdown at that point because Brent had some space, and now 4th down and 12. Offense still on the field. So they can attempt a field goal if they wanted to. They have a kicker that can make it, but they're going to take the snap, looking, throwing. No. Barsikowski gets sacked. What a play in the backfield right there by Charlie Bazone. We haven't called his name at all tonight, but the senior coming out with a big play. I almost want to say smart move by Barsikowski because you don't want to throw an interception there either, too, but takes the sack, and that's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, good to hear from Barzone. You know, he was injured back in week 6, came back last week, and he makes a big play. Another stand for this Tiger defense.
You did a big play on offense, though, Double A. 7 minutes to go in the game. Every time Berkshire's been able to get the ball, they've had these long drives. And even when it doesn't come up with points here, still a long field now for Chagrin Falls to try and work with.
But what they're saying right now, Chagrin Falls, wait a minute, it's only a 2-possession game. Touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions needed.
Still in this now as Kay looks to pass. Gonna step up in the pocket. He's gonna run. He's gonna get a huge hit.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness. Brady Wadsworth knocked him through, and then it was cleaned up at the end. like Caleb Corbett. I mean, my goodness.
Corbett handled business.
Yeah.
Secondary did too. Kay was trying to find some kind of an opening, and of course pressure up front. Nobody was able to get open, and he took the punishment.
This is where you miss someone like Spencer Kaz too, the senior that can make plays down the field. No more for his defense, but offensively he's usually in for one or two good plays a game. Kay rolling out, going to throw off his back foot. That's going to go out of bounds, incomplete. He was under pressure almost immediately, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 9.
You know, if the mascot here wasn't holding the flag, he would have been able to make the play on the track.
I thought he was going to take a swing and try to baseball it. The World Series is over technically, but he could maybe try and hit a home run over the visiting bleachers if he would have took a shot at it.
He would have made a good shot. But 2 plays here left to go here for Chagrin Falls. You know, one of these receivers gotta get themselves open.
Almost want to circle Zelch. He's been the guy. They're going to throw it up to him. Far right side, breaking through. It's caught. No, it's not. It's dropped. Zelch had it in his hands, and he couldn't bring it in.
Wow.
Oh, he had the separation, and Drew Zelch could not bring it in. He had the hands on the football. And now a 4th and 9, which essentially could end up being the ball game here, AA.
A sign of relief if you're the
my goodness.
secondary.
We've seen Drew Zelch come down with that ball 9 times out of 10. For Berkshire, luckily, that was the one that he just can't corral it.
Man. One of those nights.
Okay, got to take another shot. 4th down, under pressure, slips through, looking, throwing, taking a shot down the middle. It's intercepted. Oliver Miller. There was a receiver over there. It was DeVito, but it was too far out in front, and Miller makes the play.
Too far in front and out of position from the quarterback standpoint. You know, when you're under pressure, you can't make the throw that you want to make. And Miller's just in position. Miller has had an outstanding football game
talk about
on both
running,
sides of the ball.
Yeah, running the football so well, AA, and that defense keeping that slant, that deep slant out. Some of those post plays with Zelch, we've seen him over the middle make plays, and great job by this Badger defense. Handoff Phillips, top of your screen, working through. This time he's met. Still a gain of 2 to 3 yards, even though he got hit in the backfield.
And this is the time right now that if you're the Tigers, and I think they will, you're going to start to burn some timeouts.
Gives us one more chance to talk to you about a presenting sponsor for CVC TV. It's the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. And hey, thank you for all your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and us here at CVC TV. Now that was a do-or-die play a few plays ago, AA, for the Tigers, and we saw DeVito open, kind of tracking towards the middle. There was an opening there that could have been a catch and a 1st down, but just when Kay's under pressure, throwing off his back foot against his body, it was.
And to this point, Jacob Kay has made some impressive plays, you know, off balance from that standpoint, but I don't care how good you are as a quarterback. You can only do that so much when you're under pressure. But this is the last stand here if you're the defense. You're the Badgers. You're going to see Chagrin Falls trying to use timeouts, trying to slow things down. You got to shut the door right now.
So was there a penalty that we missed possibly? I'm not sure.
I wonder if there was, because the ball did move up.
Yeah, that's 1st down. Handoff. Miller had a carry, another flag comes flying in, a couple of them now. More laundry on the floor than AA's apartment. Let's see what the call is.
Yeah, that's a lot of flags.
I'm kidding, he's actually very tidy.
Not this week.
Well, it's gonna be against the defense. So just nothing going the Tigers' way. They had the one drive where they were able to make a huge play on 3rd down and goal from the 20. But other than that, offense, defense, it's been a tough night.
It has. And, you know, too big of a hole to climb out of.
Well, it gets team to hold the ball like Berkshire does, and is consistently getting 1st downs, and now also getting the calls too with the, again, penalties racking up against this defense. Now just willing to take the clock down. Barskowski turns, hands off to Miller. He gets met immediately as the defense must have heard me say a few things because they got in the backfield pretty quick and got the stop.
Yeah, they heard you clearly.
Oh, yeah, Cole Dukas got there immediately and brought down. He was not having that.
So, again, here, they're going to – now, it's third down or second down, one of those downs coming up.
Should be second. No, there's down. Now it's there.
Okay, third down coming up here. So, again, they're going to eat up the clock. Berkshire's going to eat this up, probably take this down to about 440-ish. And if the Tigers can get a stop, they'll probably call a timeout there.
Yeah, call this playoff.
They got 5 seconds. Get the stop.
Trying to get a man in motion. No delay game called. Berkshire throwing over the top, incomplete.
Oh, that's big.
That's going to stop the clock double way, too. Yeah, taking a shot up top to Wadsworth, who couldn't bring it in. Actually, was that Kempton instead? I'm sorry, that was actually Kempton who ran. And now, looks like the field goal unit is out. This would be a long one.
But that was the we're going for the knockout punch play call right there.
Yeah, take a shot and then trust your kicker here. And this is going to be placed down at about 33-yard line. So this will be about a 43-yard attempt, give or take a yard or two. And timeout going to be called by the Badgers. They have 3. They'll take 1.
I wonder here again if they go back out and kick the field goal attempt. If you're Chagrin Falls, you have somebody in the end zone,
or do you sell it on a block possibly too, and hope maybe you can get a pickup and return it, and make this game really interesting with a couple timeouts too.
Could do something along those lines. Get a light breeze, nothing of significance.
No, but the American flag in the far corner of the end zone at the top of your screen is blowing against where they're kicking here. So, gonna have to kick into the wind, but we talked about the leg that Roman Perchik has, and Perchik is able to really boot that ball far, but he's gonna have to contest with the wind now in his face.
Where is Jim Cantori when you need him?
Oh, he's in Florida still. Technically still hurricane season.
It is. Doesn't that last like
November 30th?
November.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it does.
Yeah, now it does.
It looks like the offense may be back on the field now, Double A.
I think so.
Yeah, so I guess just gonna take a shot here. Rolling out right side, looking, throwing, receiver open in the end zone, cutting back, and it is
picked off.
Intercepted inside the 5. Great play over the top there by Jay McGinnis, the junior. So this essentially kind of counts like a punt, if you think about it, because now the Tigers are going to have the ball inside their own 5-yard line with a long field to go in the offense. Besides one drive, Double A has not shown a lot of momentum.
True. This is going to be a nitpicking commentary, what I'm about to mention. Ideally, you want to knock the ball down. But again, that is very much nitpicking.
Well, I didn't see it. Yeah, I guess, I'll tell you what, Barsikowski is a great punter. You see, the ball is now down at the 2-yard line. So we'll give him credit for the involuntary punt. But now this puts Jacob K and company in tough billing here inside their own end zone. K gonna fake the handoff, keep it himself, and get a few yards of space out to about the 4.
And again, being mindful of the clock. Again, this is only, believe it or not, a 2-possession game.
And we've seen some big plays across the CVC this year, and you have to circle number 8. Drew Zelch is a guy that can make those plays down the sideline, through the seam. He's done it all season long. Kay gonna drop back the pass. He's under pressure, rolling right side, looking. Kay gonna throw off his back foot again, up top, and up through the hand. Incomplete, but a flag comes in. It was in the direction of Zelch. Couple different purple jerseys over there. And it's gonna be, against Berkshire, though. So the Tigers gonna get some more space to breathe here, Double A.
Yeah, they can breathe now. They can breathe there. This is the tough part here. If you're a Badger fan, just, you've dominated this game. Just to be honest, you dominated this game, but now that clock can't tick down fast enough, closing this thing out. But it's going to be a new set of downs for Chagrin Falls.
The ball going to get moved to, looks like, the 14-yard line. And that's where the Tigers will get a defensive holding, I think was the call double A there. So we'll see what the Tigers can do on offense. A little bit of a bailout on that play, and now Jacob Kay will come back in that shotgun.
Again, you're watching for 8, who's lined up at the top of the screen.
Zelch has been the target, but Kay going to keep it. Roll to his left side. Kay trying to find some space, going to cut back out. He's going to work his way through, spin forward, and actually stays in bounds past the 20 to the 21-yard line. Kay spun back in bounds for the play instead of going out of bounds there.
Although it's not 100% guarantee you would have made it out of bounds, but yeah, it is. Oh, we got another flag.
Another one came in late, apparently. We'll see who that one is on. It was a run of about 7 for Kay, who's been bottled up for the most part running the football. Had one big run a couple drives ago. And that's going to be a hold against Chagrin Falls. That's a huge penalty. So they're going to get moved back inside the 15-yard line down to about the 12. Again, just penalties against this Tiger offense, and obviously the defense throughout the game too have been a thorn in the side. Kay looking to pass, under pressure again. Kay has to roll out. His lineman's down. He stands back up. Kay looks to pass again. He's rolling out right, throws, takes a shot. He's got a receiver. It's Zelch. It's caught, and Zelch goes out of bounds near midfield. Kay just bought as much time as he could and found Zelch near midfield for a huge gain.
We're just looking for that connection all game long. And you're going to watch this right tackle, watch 67, get back up and still block. I mean, that's amazing. And he just making a play.
Oh, what a play.
Jake Evans fell to the ground, got back up, continued to block. Now this Badger defense is going to have to call time.
Yeah, they're going to collect themselves here because those big plays can happen when you've got someone like Drew Zelch on that sideline. We said bottled up for the most part. A couple plays here that obviously caught the touchdown, the only lone score of the game for the Tigers, but starting to show up now and getting some separation, and that's not good news for the Badgers if he's able to break free and get those big plays.
Yeah. Again, one more time. How about Jake Evans? Fell to the ground, got back up, made the block that was needed for Kay. Man.
We talked about no quit, and Coach Scott obviously mentioned, hey, you know, we were in these situations, but there's always the next play. There's always an opportunity for us to get better and to bring that next level of intensity, and that just shows it right there, down and out of the play. If he stays down, his quarterback may get sacked in the end zone there.
Yeah.
But able to get up, make that block. It gets Kay, obviously buys him another 3 to 4 seconds to throw the football, and he's able to make a huge play down that right side to Zelch, who, again, give credit where credit's due to Zelch, who not giving up on a route, still trying to find a way to get open, stay active on that play, because that took about, I don't know, what, 8-9 seconds to develop, but it finally got there. So here we go.
Wonder now you bring extra nickel defender over to Chelsea's side.
I'd imagine you want to try and, just double him at all points. See 8 there at the bottom of your screen. Second receiver from the bottom.
I can't see where you're.
Going to do a clock adjustment here to 3:21 on the game clock as the timeout was called then. 03:21 on the game clock now. First down for the Tigers. Kay rolling out left side, looking, throwing, got a receiver. That one is going to be caught again. It's Zelch inside the 40-yard line. So the connection's starting to percolate a little bit more, Double A. What a play by Zelch.
Yeah, you kind of don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and he went out of bounds, which was smart too. So only a few seconds tick off the clock.
Again, you almost got to have a second defender perhaps, but they don't want to give up the middle of the field neither. But that's where the safety, that's where Miller kind of falls in defensively.
Miller knows to make those plays. Kay going to step up. Working right side. He's got a lot of green space in front. There goes Jacob Kay. He turns the corner and it's going to run out of bounds near the first down marker. Jacob Kay using those legs that we've seen all year too to get it, and he's going to move the chain. He's got exactly 10 yards.
And again, remember, coming into this game, he shared duties as far as leading rusher, as far as number of carries coming in, Jacob K.
And we know he can definitely get those big ones, and he obviously has been able to run for yards, too. That Fairview game, over 200 yards on the ground. K's explosive with his legs, now trying to be explosive with his arm. Throws middle, and that's tipped. And oh, that was a dangerous pass through the hands of Wadsworth. And I'll tell you what, if Brady Wadsworth makes that play, there is nobody in front of him.
I think, yeah, Brady Wadsworth, he was on his way to the Geauga County Fairgrounds.
Oh, my goodness. Could have went to the airport, not done a flight. He had that much time to kill. Wow, unbelievable. So K, it's another opportunity here. Dropping back, looking. K throwing over the top. It's caught. It's caught. Dukas gets down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. So much attention on Zelch, but Cole Dukas makes the play. Remember, he was on the injury report too coming in this week, AA, but a huge play by Dukas.
Yeah, let's quickly watch over the top how, and you have the protection, and K just sees it. K's a tall man. He can see very much over this defense.
So 1st and goal, the clock continues to tick down. An opportunity for the Tigers to make this a 1-score game. K gonna keep it himself, goes right side, dives in through, he's in! Jacob K scores, and we still have a ball game here at Great Lakes Cheese Stadium.
I'm gonna be honest, this is pretty stunning. Let's watch, again, just a believable play call, of course, with K just getting right in there, getting that pocket. Of course, now going for 2.
Need the
no
2
doubt
points.
about it.
Definitely needed 2 points to make this a 1-score game. And then if they scored again, they need another 2 points to even think about tying it. So there's a lot that has to happen here, but the important thing is Chagrin Falls has been able to battle back and make this a ball game here in the 4th quarter.
Going to see what kind of pressure, if this Badger defense has the energy to bring pressure.
They're going in that backfield. Haven't seen him back there too much. They've been using McClintock as a blocker to give K more time. K gonna roll out, throw, dump it off, it's caught! 2-point conversion is good, there he is. Great catch there in the flat by Jake McClintock. He's been blocking a lot for K, giving him space, and now, don't want to jinx anything, but it's an 8-point game. Still obviously a lot to happen here.
And what he did, he was able to sit in the flat. So he didn't take off for the route immediately, waited a second, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi took off, was ready to go there in the flat. You would imagine onside kick coming up right now.
Yep.
And again, this is not the National Football League. You don't have to tell the refs that you're kicking it that way.
But even if you don't recover this, you still have 2 timeouts. So you can still get the ball back with some time, and they show a big playability with Zelch down the field. Now Cole Dukas stepping up and making a big play too. I love when your seniors do that. Dukas at 6'3", 200 pounds, got the size to be able to make those plays as well. So you don't have to recover this to still have a chance to get the ball back, but the defense would have to step up.
But of course, your hands team, if you're the Badgers, you want your best catchers. You want, obviously, your best hands up there up front. And you see the back line right at the edge of the screen. Kind of saw that. And then you got the front line just past the 50. So this is big time. We were in Crestwood last week where Fairview stole a possession away from the Red Devils that forced them to take the lead or close the game. Similar scenarios could play out here.
Big kick for Christian Trudick. Can he knuckleball it over and get the ball back for this team? It's a line drive. It's going. It's working through. It's a live ball. It's still up, and it's going to go out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. That was almost a...
Whoa!
Wait a minute.
Chagrin recovered it, I believe.
No, they're pointing. It's Berkshire football. They said it was out of bounds. That looked like it was called dead from media, but they're going to talk this over right now. There was a quick conversation, and it's going to be Badger football.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. I thought the ball went out of bounds.
There was a dive at the end trying to smack that ball back in. You appreciate the effort, but the ball touched the sideline, so it's going to be Berkshire football. They're still talking about it a little bit, but that was a decision that's been made. So Now, if you're the Tigers, it shifts to getting a stop on defense because you can stop the clock twice here. You can get the ball back with plenty of time. And if you're the Badgers, a couple first downs, you can ice this game.
You give the ball to your best player. You give the ball right now. You turn to Justin Phillips.
Yeah, Phillips is in that backfield, and I imagine he'll be there the rest of the way.
Yeah, you take us home. Take us to the next round of the playoffs. You're Division 5, Region 17. Badgers the 7th seed, Tigers the 10th seed.
Marsikowski hands. Phillips working his way through. Gets brought down after a solid gain of about 4 to 5 yards.
That's huge. Again, that's what Phillips being able to get those big gains.
You're going to let this clock run here. Which, again, maybe a smart move, too, depending on how much yards you get. Phillips coming up hobbled a little bit, limping, so he's going to have to come off the field, and now Miller comes back in. Not a bad sub to have. Oliver Miller can make plays, too.
No, but obviously
you want Phillips out there if you can.
Making sure Phillips is good, and even, that's what Saturday mornings for, too. You got to make sure if you're Chagrin, you're not offside here.
Handoff, Southern, first carry in a while. Abram Southern turns the corner and gets the first down. Big plays. We haven't called his number in a while, but number 1 for the purple and black moves the chains again.
It seems like this Badger team in the backfield has unlimited resources.
So it's going to be a timeout taken by the Tigers, I believe.
It should. That makes sense.
Yeah, so they've got one more remaining. And with 1:37 to go in the game, I mean, essentially you can pretty much maybe run 1-2 more times here.
One more set of downs, really, before, the inevitable.
Just don't lose the football.
And I'm glad you brought that up, too, because now defensively, as Phillips tries to run things off right now.
They might tell him to just hang out on the sideline at this point. If this game is,
you're going for the strip. That's what you're going for, and that's why you got to protect that ball. You got the young man, Oliver Miller, in that backfield right now. 2 hands on that football. Protect that thing at all costs.
9 on the clock break.
Marsikowski going to take the snap here. 1:39 to go. Handoff, Miller, middle, working through. He gets stuffed immediately. Holding on to that football, though, that's important. Timeout going to get called. I would think.
Yeah, Chagrin.
No motion, but there will be a timeout from the Tigers.
Man. Sometimes you can always just laugh, right? Just. Here he goes again.
$1:33 going to be on the clock.
These officials are eyeing that clock. You have OHSA officials in the postseason.
Every second, man, it counts.
Every second does count. I feel like I heard that in a class or something. Or a game
While
show
you were
or
watching
something.
the clock tip through there, yeah, there you go.
Maybe that was my work shift today. Every second counts.
So if they can find a way to get another first down, this game is over.
Jacob Phillips is in the huddle. I don't know if he's checking in.
He's trying to work his way through. And
yeah, that's what
we watched him run on the sideline.
Listen. You want to take this home? You're gonna force your way. I don't know how I ended up in the huddle. I just
happened to be there. Oh, yeah, Coach, I can go in the game. Yeah, sure, no problem.
There he is.
Yeah, Phillips is out there again, so he's loosened up that knee and is going to give it a shot. 2nd and 9.
And Chagrin Falls out of timeouts.
And the ball was free for a second. Oh, my goodness.
We got to get a replay on that if we can, because I wonder what happened
there.
Okay, they pulled a night at the Roxbury. Me, you, me, hand off. Who gets it? And
oh, man.
Tell you what, I mean, Barsikowski saved the day there by holding on to that football.
Yeah, he did. And again, more time coming off the clock.
Yeah, if they can get this first down, essentially this game's over.
It is over. I mean, that's
yeah, you're pretty much wrapping it up here.
Because again, Chagrin Falls out of timeouts. They have 2 plays to really save this. You got 10 seconds left on the play clock. So they'll probably snap it with 47 seconds left.
Or now. Barsikowski keeping it himself. Right side, he is going to be short. So there's going to be a 1 second difference.
Yeah. Play clock's at 33, game clock's at 34.
You could take the snap and take a knee, and it should be it. It doesn't matter if it's turnover on downs because there's going to be no time left. So
I wonder if the Badgers, and the crowd knows it.
Yes.
I wonder if the Badgers will call 1 extra timeout just to say, hey, just get the snap, run around for a second and fall. Just fall.
You could even take a delay if you wanted to at this point. Yeah.
And they might do that too.
No, Coach DeWeese is right next to the referee.
So timeout right now with 1 second. All they're going to do, Kyle,
just take a knee.
Is just snap the ball. You can't take it, or you can just run for like a second, fall, and the game over.
When the snap comes, the second comes off, so automatically it's going to be over. And that's a huge win for the Badgers. A scare late. The Tigers found a way to work back in. We finally saw some offense start to work through, but just not enough. And you can't kind of go back to that interception, that lost possession in this quarter as a big circle point of like, hey, if they could have done something with that, we could maybe have a game here. And even the onside kick almost saved, but the ball touched the sideline.
Yeah.
If it was saved, it was recovered by Chagrin. But the ball touched the sideline. It goes with the Badgers, and now Berkshire is going to move on to round 2 of the playoffs.
It ain't easy, isn't it?
No.
You know, again, a 10-7 matchup.
17-0 lead, too, for the Badgers, and the Tigers fought all the way back. Coach Scott's got to be happy with his team about that.
Great experience, of course. But now let's watch here. This final play. There's a little bit of dramatics here.
Phillips is about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage.
So this is victory formation, essentially. You take a step back, and then you knee. That's it.
And there it is, the final here from Great Lakes G Stadium. A voluntary loss of 5 yards because the Badgers get the big win. They move on in the playoffs. Division 5, Region 17. You got a Badger problem.
Yes, they do.
Don't call alpha animal removal. They're going to be outside. It's totally fine. Final score 24-16. Double A, your thoughts on the game tonight from both perspectives for both teams?
Well, for the Badgers, an impressive performance. We're going to spend so much time talking about this offensive line and whatnot, but I'll tell you, Phillips, he's that dude. He was the missing piece that we did not see the last time we were here on Labor Day weekend. Came back in week 4. He is the leader of this team offensively and defensively. And what a performance. And then defensively, this team, when they needed to, came through strong against a high-powered attack in the Chagrin Falls Tigers. So what a start. And then, of course, for Chagrin Falls, very disappointing on their end, but obviously they had a great season. It's just hard to face the same opponent 2 weeks in a row. The second half played out quite a bit better than the first half. Just, again, in the first half, too many self-inflicting penalties, got themselves down too deep, and coming back from 24 down, you know, that's a tough ask, you know, for any team. But what a great game, great performance, and the Badgers move on.
It was a gritty performance for Berkshire, who, again, wins their 8th game of the season, and they're going to move on to the next week of the high school football playoffs. And you mentioned the Tigers coming back from being down by multiple scores and making this a one-possession game here late in the 4th quarter. Tough pill to swallow for Coach John Scott and company, but proud of his guys for coming through and making this a game here in the 4th frame. That's going to wrap it up for high school football playoff coverage tonight here on CVC TV. Make sure you tune in to ChagrinValleyConference.com for all the scoring updates to see who is still alive.
And this is who the Badgers are going to play next week, Manchester. They're going to
tough
play
team.
next week out in New Franklin.
So
It'll be a tough matchup. Manchester's a good team. The Badgers have their work come out for them, but tonight they can celebrate. Huge win, 24-16, the final here at Great Lakes Cheese Stadium. Of course, I want to thank all of our sponsors that make this possible. The Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, Alpha Animal Removal. Also want to thank Taz Tree Service, Sewer Cleaning Company, R&T Fence, Air Quality Control Heating and Cooling LLC, Greenie Sports Guards, Woodlake Realty, Hobby Motorsports, and the Ohio Media School. Also, biggest thank you of all to you for watching and tuning in, of course, all throughout CVC TV during the regular season and playoff action this week. We'll be back next week. We're not sure where yet.
Yeah, we'll find out.
But we'll find out shortly. We'll make sure we let you guys know, of course, on social media and on ChagrinValleyConference.com. For Kyle Cornell, double Anthony Alford, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, the final from Great Lakes Cheese Stadium, 24-16. Berkshire moves on in the state playoffs.
Jim's about to unpack your microphone.